Hello, welcome to the Ghana Agenda. My name is Alfred Amuzu, and today we have a packed show for you. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know last week we had Akogon, and we talked about so many different things. We talked about the NDC's manifestos, big push, what is in there, the Okada. We talked about so many different things. We went into Commander and talked about the plan, and we are going to further that discussion today because the president actually sat down with Kwami Kai, and so many things were said. We are going to react to that. Today, I'll be joined by my own brother, Rockson, Dafeamekpor. I will check on quickly just to make sure he's in a green room, and if he's ready, we'll start the conversation. But also, we'll be talking to Seth Mefetu, and he would come for us to actually discuss the future of or what is going forward. How does okay? All right, my audio was out. Please, if you can hear me, but thank you so much for pointing that out for me. I just looked myself and I realized sometimes I just get talking and I get caught up talking, and I'm not checking to see if audio is working or not. So I need a producer, but thank you so much for Kwami. Akwa, thanks for looking out for me and the comments. All right, so welcome to the Ghana Agenda. Sorry we had an episode with the sound there. I wasn't looking; it was off. So I was saying so many things with my own brother, Dafeamekpor Nelson, and we'll be reacting to what the president said when he visited Peace FM and spoke to Kwami Kai. We'll also look at what is going on with the NDC's reorganization, the total recall, where Akogon said they were going to be explaining sector by sector what the NDC's plans as contained in their manifesto would have taken the country in comparison to where we are today. We'll see if he'll be making presentations, and also we'll talk about LGBT because he was also one of the authors of the bill, and get his perspective on how things came together. I know it's a private members bill, the first of its kind actually in our history. So we'll talk to him about his role in that. And after that, when I'm done talking to him, we'll transition to Western Togoland, and we'll be talking to Seth Mefetu, who is the host of the Togoland, the Situation Room on Trent Africa, where he discussed strictly issues as they pertain to Western Togoland, or the land that was supposed to be united with Ghana at independence through a plebiscite. We'll talk about that when he's here. We'll look at the death of Papavi Hogbedato and what it means for the Togoland movement, and what is the future for them looking like. All right. And then I'll be joined by my regular panelists, where we will continue to react to what we heard the president said. We'll look at the various issues he touched on. He picked a fight with Togbu Fiti from Aflao, which is where I'm from. So I'm very interested in that fight and see what my member of parliament from South Dayi will say about that. So we'll take a quick break, commercial break, looking at green room to see if Honorable is available or ready to go. And then we would bring him on so we can start the conversation. If you haven't already done so, please share the link. Share the link. Our numbers have been growing. Please, if you are able to, if you can, subscribe to our YouTube. I know you're watching on ACO, Facebook also, but most important that you subscribe to the YouTube, the Ghana Agenda YouTube channel. Our subscriptions have gone up. We are currently at 1,030 subscribers. We want to grow that to about 2,000, and it's all because I think we are producing a lot of content that will interest you, and if it interests you, hopefully your friends may like it too. So share the link so they can also watch us, so they can subscribe, so we can grow the base and increase the number of people involved in the conversation to build a better Ghana. We'll be right back.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income. Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're still waiting on our guests to join. So if you're just joining today, we'll be reacting to what the president said when he gave the interview to Kwami Sefakai on Peace FM. He talked about a lot of different things. One of which we will be very interested is in the Commander Sugar Factory. He said transaction advisors PwC, which is PricewaterhouseCoopers, accounting firm, were appointed by the Mahama administration to perform some sort of evaluation, and all that was happening under the Mahama administration. So we'll ask where that evaluation is. I want to be able to put that to our guest, once we're able to get him. But essentially, there's an article there on modern Ghana, where, I think somewhere in 2020, where a petition was sent to Parliament by a group. So I was the parliamentarian to help me with that. Petition was sent to Parliament asking for clarification because subsequently, somewhere in 2018, the understanding is Pricewaterhouse did another evaluation. And this time around, the price went what we were going to sell it for. The president actually, we'll play the president video so you can see and hear for yourself what the president said. But it made references to the percentage that, the previous administration was going to get rid of or sell to a private person or private entity. An Indian company was interested, and I think there's an Indian company interested still. And essentially, the second evaluation actually reduced from the 34 million or so that it was evaluated for before to about 11 million or so. We'll look at that. I'll read the article, look at the exact numbers, and I'll see if the parliamentarian, Honorable Nelson, can help us provide some clarity on that issue. And the president also went into discussion about. All right. So while we're waiting for Honorable Nelson Dafeamekpor to join, I have with me my regular panelist, Paul DeSosu. And Paul, I would like for us to start the conversation about some of the very issues the president touched on when he gave the interview that just to Kwami Sefakai on Peace FM. So I guess the very first question I really have about it is, why do you think the president went for this interview?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Alfred Amuzo. I'm grateful and I'm happy to.
And as you answer that, sorry I interrupted there. Why he gave that interview and what he was trying to achieve? Because he mentioned that he's actually on a thank you talk of his own. So, what is happening? Do you think he's reacting to President Mahama's messages on the road, and he's therefore stepping out and giving these interviews? And then we'll go into the details of the interview. What do you think?
For me, the simple thing is that this man is insecure, even though he claims to be a legitimate president, which the Supreme Court has called upon him to be the legitimate president. I mean, he still feel and believe that, I mean, he knows deep within his heart that he never won the 2020 election and that it was given to him on a silver platter. That is why he's worried, and then decided to also go around and be granted interview just to catch or have the voters at his side. For me, I believe this interview that he had with Kwame Sefakai was just a platform to just distort the the good work and thank you to that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is undertaking. He just went there to divert attention, and that's what he's tried to do. But unfortunately, it went wrong. An interview went wrong. He rather went there to, Miss. I don't want to use harsh words. He's our president. He went there to, to disgrace himself, and then you could see that he was not on top of issues. He didn't know what he was talking about. Most of the question that was put to him,
Right.
the answers he provided, you could see that he's not a man on the job.
He's not.
He's not on top of the issue.
He's going around looking at projects just to see the things that are going. I'm like, at your age, you're actually going around. Come on, don't you have anything?
Yeah. So the issue over here is that, it's just fear of, that Mahama is still the people's person. The way Mahama is getting a lot of, support on the grounds with his thank you tour. He's just trying to, divert attention. But unfortunately, that attention that he was trying to divert, is an unfortunate one. And I just hope, and my brother Ifa will not, try to, distort the fact. Let's speak truth today, and I'm waiting to hear from my brother Ifa.
All right. So on that note, Ifa, welcome to the show. If you can hear me, I know I can see your video, but I know you can definitely hear me. So Ifa, what I was asking Paul was that the president went to speak to Kwame Safari, and Paul is saying, it doesn't appear that he's on top of issues, and he's there talking about a tour that he's embarking on, and that's the first time I'm actually hearing that he's on a tour. Maybe it's me who's not paying attention. So what is the reasoning behind this? Why is the president what did he intend to communicate with this interview?
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I want to, I was thinking that Rockson and a couple of other personalities were going to show up. So we're giving them the, what happened. They didn't come. I didn't listen to the, they didn't show up.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on Rockson. Once he joins, what we will do is, we'll give him space to do his thing, and then we'll come back. Right.
So, okay, thank you very much. Yeah, greetings to my good friend. In fact, he's one of my friends in NDC, and I like him so much. But don't give me the opportunity to punch you sometimes, okay? Because you know I do it. There are some. Truth be told, there are some people within the NDC that I respect, and Paul is one of them. We talk behind the scene and we discuss some other stuff. But when we come here, we're going to talk about what we need to talk about. In the first place, I'm a little disappointed, a little bit, Alfred. If you say that the president is going around touring at his age, don't he have anything to do? I mean, that's really a disappointment to hear that anyway. But you are entitled to your opinion. In the first place, when you put yourself up as a president, all right, you have a lot of people that you entrust things. People are doing things in your state. And let me give you a typical example. There was a case in during Mahama's time that one of his ministers, deceived him that a particular project was completed that was not completed, that was not done. These are facts. So sometimes
the president has to visit. And so you are saying that this is the system that you are approving of, that we have a system where if the president doesn't show up to actually see a project, that it's not done. That is what I mean by, come on, shouldn't he be thinking about building such a system?
You are here, right? Okay, you can choose to go on that route. I don't have a problem. But we are here where we have a green book with completed projects in there that are not done on the field. How about that one?
We need to have a system.
Mr. Abuzo,
listen. We have an auditor. We have people. Those things are captured in the audit report. Do I need a president to actually go and see them? He should read the audit report, or somebody should interpret them to him.
Okay, so the audit report is giving you people's actions, what has done as far as budget is concerned, right? And you see when you see the things that you are saying, they are all contradictory. I don't know what you think. Now we've had if you take the audit report year on year from Rollins up to this time, show me one that doesn't have a problem. Projects that are not completed, inefficiencies and stuff like that, right? So going to see it is one of them. It is different from the system. We also making sure that we work out. Tell me who will not act, who will not show up to make sure things are done if the president showed up. People are going to be up and doing. So for instance, if we have a place where the system is working such that the president doesn't need to go and check, we don't have what you're talking about in Ghana. And systematically, from let's not even go beyond this distant. Let's not even go beyond this Fourth Republic. And you see people will come on platforms, right, and say, Mahama built 200 schools because that's what they've been told. That's not true. Perhaps if Mahama will go around and say, oh, I built schools, that's a general statement.
But Mahama didn't say he built. I mean, people who speak, I'm sure there are MPP people there making all kinds of outrageous comments too. It's not what the people who are there making the comments say. It's what the leader is saying. Did Mahama say he built 200 schools? Don't box too. I'm trying to pinpoint.
Okay, I'm trying to build my point on president visiting, and then we come to what they say, which is what he presents. So don't box all of them. Sometimes when we do these things, we are not able to really deal with the issues. We throw ourselves out there, right? So what I'm saying is that me sitting here and looking at the political and developmental history of Ghana, if you are telling me, if you give work to, then you don't even know Ghanaians. If you are in business and you tell people, you have professionals, right? We have professionals. You've given them work. Hey, this is what we are doing. We are doing this farming and blah, blah, blah. And you trust that they're doing the work. I'm telling every listener, every businessman, including you and Paul, that if you do that in Ghana, you will go one day and you're going to cry. I'm telling you that you put people in charge, that you trust them so much so that you are going to have your harvest. So you don't check them. If you are in the hotel industry, if you are in the retail industry, if you are on something that is daily something, you sit down 1 year and don't go there. I am telling you, about 70 to 80% of the time, you will be fucked up. Excuse my language. You will be finished. You will be finished in Ghana. So you have to get the time to monitor. You have to get the time to go and see things yourself. Ask a lot of these diasporans who have been duped back home when they go and see what their family members, what their friends, what the professional that they hired, the work that they've done. You will cry. But that is up to you. Me, I support what the president is doing. Mr. President, go and check what is on the ground. Go and check the projects and make sure they are being done. If we put in there a system where we're going to get a report and everybody's going to testify, say, oh, yeah, we're doing a great job, then fine. But we are not there yet. We are not there yet. So that is that.
So, now, Mr. Abuzo,
I think I disagree, though. I think we are dead. All those things are in the audit reports. You should just read them.
What is in the audit report? What is in the audit report?
On projects that are late, that are there are cost overruns on all that information is captured on the audit report. So if
give me one. Okay, give me one.
The people pay tax.
Tell me. Let's take one project, right? Tell me a president visiting the Pokwasi interchange several times to see progress of work. What has that? what does that impugn on his presidency or bring inefficiency or whatever? How does it affect anything? In any case, I see it is bringing in efficiency.
I think it's misguided. The president should be building the systems. The president should be building the system that put the check and balances in place so that.
But you see,
imagine the United States president.
But Amuzu, don't compare these things. Don't compare this. United States is a federal place. Don't compare that. Okay,
yeah, but I'm just saying.
If it is not in the report, okay, let's go back.
International deals.
Hold on. No, hold on. Okay, let's make this. Okay, why do we
have a minister for monitoring and evaluation, right? Isn't that a thing?
So why do we still have that inefficiency in 2017? Why do we start doing efficiency in 2016?
Why started the Ministry of Evaluation? So they started in 2017. It's 5 years in. He's still going to check projects. What is his Ministry of Evaluation and Monitoring doing?
Or they are supposed to go check, or they are supposed to bring him evaluation. So when they bring him, so what you are saying is that
are valid.
What you are saying is that you set up a business, or you are in charge of something, or you own it, right? They give you the report. You don't go and check and see if what they're telling you is true, and that you should trust your people, and that there shouldn't be no checking to see. Is that what you're telling me right now?
I'm just saying that we have so much at stake. There's so much priorities that, and I'm also concerned about his health as a man at his age. You could see him. Has he told you that he cannot go? Have you received any medical report, or are you a medical officer? Are you a medical officer to pass judgment? We know the law.
Are you a medical officer? Okay, so you are his medical team. You are part of his medical. You pass a judgment that the president is not fit enough to go round. I think we are discussing something that is not an issue.
No,
I don't even understand why we have a problem that it is not part of the president's duty to go around and check projects.
No.
To go and visit.
You are mixing and dicing. What I'm saying is that yes, the president can go out and look at projects, but not because the president has to check whether the projects are there. He should be more worried about building a system that provides a data that is reliable for him to actually make those decisions. Him going to check is inefficient. He's not going to be able to check all the projects. How about the project that he didn't check?
You are contradicting yourself now.
I'm not contradicting
myself. He can go and check, but there has to be. I'm not saying the president shouldn't go and check. That's a contradiction right there.
Let me land. And I'm also saying that. The president is an old man. You know him. You see him on TV.
Has he complained about his health to you?
Hold on. I know he loves the country. We saw this in Atamis. All our presidents actually love Ghana. They want to do all these things. But we are citizens should be worried about the IFs too. So if we are seeing this thing, it's my duty to be concerned for his health. I want him to be strong and run the country. So
on what basis?
So I'm saying that, Mr. President.
Are you privy to any medical report?
Okay, I think as my president, who I love, as my country's president, I don't have to actually look at a medical report to be concerned about his health.
What you're saying is a non-starter. I totally disagree with that. He should not even be attending first. He should just be sleeping in the White House and taking reports. And even Atamis was going around doing all this kind of stuff. How much more? Come on, I totally disagree.
That unfortunately has impacted Atamis' health. So we just hope that our president will take care of himself more.
Can I come in?
I don't even know what you're talking about. If you are privy to any health issues, let me know. So that is one aspect. He should go around as often as he can. He has regional talks, and I encourage him to do that and go and make sure that everything is going on right. Any businessman, if you don't go to the site and you only listen to your professionals, anywhere, even here. Once in a while, corporate will come and check on what is going on, and they do all these kind of stuff. Man, I mean, I don't even see why that is an issue. It can be an issue for you. I don't have a problem, and you can practice that. But I will never, as a businessman, I will never ever, from where we come from, advise that the president, minister, or whoever it is, should just sit in the Jubilee House and don't go out there. And whether it is to check, to visit, to whatever it is, just go and do it. We have, you see, anyway, so that is me.
Okay,
you see. Talking about, I haven't finished with what the president said.
Okay,
so
No, we've not gone into that
We
yet.
haven't gone into what the president said yet.
We're
just doing a preliminary overview of why he went there. I mean, what was he trying to achieve with this interview? So
I haven't talked about that. I just made a comment on you and you're taking me on, and I haven't even talked about that one yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. So
if you can wrap it up quick on that,
you cannot say you see you cannot say that the president shouldn't grant interviews. It's like that is what you guys are saying. You may disagree with what he said, but once in a while we need updates, we need talks, we need him to talk about some stuff. What do you think about this? And other than that, it's just going to be people talking and blah 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 and stuff like that. So if you say that what he is doing is to cover something. I mean, that is your opinion, but I don't think that is so. You cannot say that Mahama is going around, so Mr. President shouldn't work. In any case, Mr. President has a schedule. So Mahama should check with the presidency and wait. So when the president is on holiday, then he can go on his. Because the president is now in charge of every aspect of the country. He is running the taxes and the money and all that is coming in, the projects and all this kind of stuff. The abandoned projects that all of you abandoned and we are now taking care of. It is important and we need updates on that.
It's interesting you mentioned taxes because we are coming there as well.
We are coming there very good.
And if you see, it is better to talk in specifics other than boxing it all that he didn't do well. I mean, this and that, then we can deal with it. But he didn't do well and he did it. It is Muhammad that is making a mess of himself. And you guys just want to pinpoint something out of here to just brush it off. Building a factory before thinking of raw materials. That is the things you're trying to brush it away. But you can't brush it away.
Well, Mr. Amuzu, I think my brother Ifa has been ranting and then moving left, back, forward, center, and still standing at the same place where he was standing. Look, let's set the record straight. A simple question is being asked. Doesn't the president have people to ensure that the project that they claim, the 131 project they said they've completed, which after we did a scrutinization of it and noticed that it's only 42 that has been completed, he's now going to ensure that those projects are completed? That is the question. Look, let's set the record straight. The president stated on that interview that he wants to be sure he's going there to see with his own eye that those projects are really there. And the president said that because people keep on deceiving him. Just like the way his vice president and people in government, including Ifa, told him that they've achieved or they've been able to implement 142, is it 40 now, 42 projects, which the NDC came out and did a scrutinizing of it, and we noticed that it's less than, 10% of what they said they've done. So if the president is taking those tours, that is up to him. But let's set the record straight over here. My brother was telling us that there is an impression in the Green Book that we stated that we've done a lot of projects in the Green Book and most of the projects were not done. I want to challenge my brother this afternoon. He should point to which page in the Green Book, which project that has been stated in the Green Book that he said is not on the ground. I just want him to point that to us. If he cannot point that to us, then I think as a friend and brother, he should retry that statement, because every project that we had in the Green Book was on the ground. And it has been attested to by their news house channel. Example, Peace FM has gone around to look at most of the projects that were in the Green Book, and they came back and confirmed that indeed the projects are on the ground. Now, my brother if also spoke about the free SHS, that we said we built 200 free SHS. Nobody in the NDC has stated anywhere. This is the first time I am hearing my brother Ifa telling us that we said we built 200 free SHS. It is not true. What is on record and we've said is that out of the 200 free SHS we promised, we completed 42 of them before we handed over to this super incompetent government. At the time we're handing over this super incompetent government, we had 123 of them on various stages of completion and 34 yet to start. This is the report we gave to them when we handed over 2017 to them. So nobody has stated anywhere that we said we've completed 200 e-blocks. It is not anywhere. So my brother Ifa should not throw dust into our eyes this afternoon. Now, he was talking about Ghanaians are people that you should not trust and not. Look, today I'm disappointed in my brother Ifa saying that we should not trust Ghanaians. He and his president don't trust Ghanaians, but they trusted Ghanaians for their vote, and Ghanaians voted for them. 2024, this statement will use it to, let Ghanaians know that my brother Ifa and his president, super incompetent president, do not trust Ghanaians. That if a Ghanaian tells you he's doing something for you, you have to go and see it with your own eye. Well, if you have a system in place and you have the appropriate people in charge, there's no need for you to be going around and inspecting projects. If you forget, or if we can all remember, this is the government that brought a monitoring and evaluation minister in their last government. What was the work of that man? Why did they bring in monetary and evaluation minister? This monetary evaluation ministry that was created to be able to do this thing, to make sure that they assess projects that are ongoing and give an account of it. Even though with this monitoring and evaluation ministry that was created, at the end of it, we got to know that most of the things that they wrote in their book that they've achieved were lies. So I am saying this afternoon that the president is doing this thing just because of fear. He's doing this thing because he's seen the rising welcome that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is receiving when he goes to the field to talk to the people. That is why this super incompetent president has decided also to go for a thank you tour and to thank the people. And of course, when this interview was granted, what did we see? He went there arrogantly insulting us because we are asking him of a status of a project that has been incompleted. And I am happy that my brother Ifa stated on this very show that the taxpayers' money is given to him. And me, Ifa, you, all of us, our taxpayers' money goes to him. He is in charge of the monies that come to him. So every Ghanaian, irrespective of the person's political, color, irrespective of the person's, religious background, irrespective of the person's character, whether rich, poor, fat, slim, whether handsome, ugly, has every right to question our president about projects that are incompleted. Thank you, Mr. Muzo.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So let's get into it. The president made comments on, I wanted to play the video from what he said about, essentially he was talking about Commander, and then he said, PwC transaction advisors were selected to review, the plant, because he said the plant closed in May, just right after it was open. And it closed because the raw materials were not available, which is the sugar cane that was needed to, process for sugar. That was needed to be processed for sugar was not available. It wasn't thought through. So the plant was not available to work. He said it was shut down, and as we speak, the PwC transaction advisors that were appointed in 2016 made 2 valuations, and the story is captured on Modern Ghana. So I'm going to read that to you. But let's listen to the president. When we come back, I will read what is in that story so we can discuss this whole issue about a transaction advisor and why that plant has depreciated for almost $12 million in just 1 year, between 2016 and 2017. We'll talk about all this when we get back. So let's watch this video.
One of the accusations about more abandoned project. Omapenyi Mahama Kwapache say Commander Sugar Factory. Idea we share that. Say $24 million be a Indian government say mama imagine one kwankwaji. Kaho na Commander Ejuma no atwea sign. Openyi Uso Musain say Ejuma ye de Ghana sika no also when ye.
She said me cry no. You want to be wow me feel say because the reality, the facts on the ground tell you a completely different story. In fact, Commander, just to begin with.
But
I say Mikoka says you can't build a house by starting at the roof without building a foundation because the house will collapse. That is exactly what has happened as far as Commander is concerned. But let me just state some simple facts about Commander. When the factory was built, immediately after the factory was built, it shut down. This was in the NDC time.
May 2016.
May 2016. Immediately after its commissioning, on the 30th of May 2016, the factory was shut down because of lack of access to raw materials. And soon after, a transaction advisor who was appointed by the then NDC government, I think it was Price Waterhouse. Was it Price Waterhouse? Came to try and assist the government to sell 70% of its shares in the factory.
70%.
70% of the shares in the factory. And all this is happening in the Mahama era. It's not my time. Up and down, no progress. Why? Because the fundamental issue which has dogged the Commander Sugar Factory, the absence of plan for supply of raw material, makes it a very, very difficult project.
$24 million, he says, was there for you to pick from the Indian government. You didn't.
But why? I didn't see no Park officer is The money was there before he left office. Why didn't he access it? The money was there before he left office. But in fact, it was going to be difficult to access the money because the factory itself that he had built had collapsed. Are you going to go and tell people you want some more money when the thing that you built is in itself on the back foot?
But you can say it had collapsed. I mean,
shutdown of a factory. How do you understand it?
So maintenance.
Immediately after you build the factory.
Well,
you bring it down it was shut down for lack of raw materials to feed the factory. And this is the point that I've been making, that the whole planning of the Commander Sugar Factory was wrong from the get-go.
We can't hear you, Alfred. We can't hear you. On mute.
Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you now. We can't hear you again. You're on mute.
Alfred, if you can hear us, we can hear you. Are you using your technology to mute something?
We can hear you. We cannot hear you, but we can hear ourselves.
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm asking. Are you using technology over there to mute something?
No, I'm not doing it.
All right, sorry about the sound issue there. I think it was a fire using his technology to make something. So,
Mr. Abuzu, let me take this one. Let me go. Look,
I want you to go on this one first, especially because the president made some claims to the fact that the 24 million Indian what do you call it? The EXIM agreement, right? It was an EXIM agreement, right?
EXIM bank agreement, yes.
EXIM bank agreement. That it was available to the Mahama president to take. Okay, so that my understanding is that it was going to be used for the planting of sugar canes and all that. Doesn't he has a point there? Because you build a factory, you open the factory. When you were opening it, you should have known that there was no materials, right?
Well, Mr. Muzo, thank you for bringing this issue up, and it's a very interesting topic that I think we are going to spend much time on and be very factual over here, not playing politics. Look, if you study psychology and look at the president's demeanor and the way he was answering the question, it should tell you right there that the president was not on top of issue. He doesn't know even what he was talking about. When you watch the video just played, when Kwami Sefakan drew his attention that there was a $24 million available, he didn't even know about that. So he turned to look at his communication director, Eugene Ayin, who was sitting there, to see for him to tell him yes or no. Before he was able even to answer the question to say that money was available during Mohammed's era, why didn't they go for it? Now, this is the fact. You see, this president has keep on to disgrace himself anytime he meets with the press. You remember when they came into power, he created a press that, oh, he's the, people's president, and that he's going to meet with the press every 6 months. Where has that gotten to? The first meeting was a disaster. Second meeting was a disaster. The third meeting was a disaster, and then they stopped it. As we speak, those meet the press never happened. And maybe if I will tell us why they stopped it when he takes the floor. Now, for him coming even to meet Kwami Sefakan, who is known to be part of them, he could not even answer the questions Kwami Sefakan put to him. Now, if I want at the fact on the ground, yes, it is true that, the NTC government did a feasibility study. We did consultancy and did an evaluation of that project before we involved ourselves into that project. For the president to be telling us that building a house, you start from the roof before you try to do the foundation, that's an insult to all of us. What are the facts? To put up such a factory, it takes 2 years to put up a factory. Is the president telling me and you and a fast sitting over here that we should have planted sugar canes before building a factory? How many months does it take sugar cane to be planted? And yesterday I was talking with my brother Ifa behind the scene, and today I cross-checked. It takes 6 to 9 months based on the variety of the sugar cane to be planted to get it grown fully for ready to be processed to turn to a sugar. So is the president and Ifa telling us that we should have planted those sugar canes, okay, and get them rotten whilst we are building a factory? The appropriate thing that is supposed to be done is, if you want to put up a factory, the first thing you need to do is to put up the physical structure, bring in the machineries that you need to put into the system, into the system, do test transmission, run the machines to make sure that everything is working perfectly, and then you go into full production. Yes, I admit that at the time that we're doing all these things, we were looking for money, and we're talking with the Exim Bank in India to give us a loan, which they were talking, and those 24 million loan was approved getting to the end of 2016, which was something that we're supposed to go through a process before we can access the money. Ifa knows very much that when you go to another country to go and look for money, you don't just, if they say they approve it, it's not something that you just go and take it. There's processes you need to go through before you can access the physical money. We were in the process of doing that when we lost power. So for the president to be asking that, why didn't we access that 24 million? We were in the process of doing that. Number two, it was true that when the factory was built, looking at the catchment area, I think the factory need, 31 tons of sugar a day, if I'm not mistaken. And the amount of sugar that is supposed to be, processed to be able to feed the party continuously is 6,000 tons of, sugar within a whole year. You understand me? But the question over here is, that 24 million that we're going to access from the Exim Bank was going to be used to support the art growers, was going to be used to give to the farmers around the vicinity, around the environment, around the where the factory is, to be able to grow the sugarcane, so that the sugarcane will grow within 6 months to 9 months. Then we get them, harvest them, and then take them into production. That was what the plan was. But unfortunately, this president, because due to his wicked and personal interest, not to get that project underway, because people will give praises to the ex-president for putting that project, he allowed it to get rotten. Just like the way they did to Sagraman. We can't hear you. On mute, Mr. Amizu. You're on mute. You are on mute. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
He's saying Alan Chawante is doing a deal now that would get us to have Mr. the factory open with the raw materials sourced. He didn't clarify
he said by
what
next year
February.
February. He said by next year February, hopeful.
By next year February, but he's not. He didn't clarify whether. Let's wait for a fact to explain that part. Source means they are growing the sugarcane in Komenda, or they are bringing it from somewhere.
If I will be able to tell us, because they are in charge now, so I don't know. But what I am saying is that it was true that PWH, Pricewaterhouse, were brought in as transaction advisors to look for partners. Okay, at the time that we were looking for, the loan to be able to get the outgrowers to plant the sugarcane so that we can get the sugarcane in excess to be able to feed the factory. Government thought that this is a project that we can bring the private sector into play. That is why we brought the PWH in, the Pricewaterhouse people, Coopers, to come and do the transaction advice to look at the how it's going to go. Of course, this government came in, they still went the same route. You understand me? For me, this sugar factory that was left rotten was just a deliberate attempt by this super incompetent and sensitive president, just because of political, interest. He didn't want to do this thing for Mahama to get praises, because he knew that if he had completed the project like the way it was supposed to be, the people of Central Region would have voted for Mahama. So he did this thing deliberately, just to get votes from the Central Region, and he has achieved what he wanted to do. Now, I am saying over here that 24 million Exim Bank loan, have they been able to access it now? I don't know, and if I should be able to provide us answers. This morning, I was listening to Newsfire, and then what's the name? Bentel from Imani was making some analysis, which I find it very difficult to understand. He's saying that they have made the analysis and they thought that the sugar factory is not going to be viable, and that sugar produced in that factory is going to be 3 times the cost of the one that imported in Ghana. I don't know where he's gotten those analysis from, but the question over here is, the factory is, the tax-based money was used in putting up that infrastructure. Because of political and personal interest, we allow that edifice to go rotten.
But critically though, why should we put good money after bad money, right? What they are saying is that it wasn't thought through, that it was even going to be more expensive producing sugar instead of just importing one.
That's not true. This is the way, you see, because of the way they've allowed this thing to get rotten, and they are trying to find a way out to look good in the eyes of the Ghanaian. That is why they are telling you all these stories, Mr. Amuzu. Now, Efa has been making a case that we build a roof before building the foundation, which literally he wants to imply that we build a factory that not making provision for, raw materials to produce in the factory. And I am telling Efa that a factory takes 2 years, and such a factory, they use 2 years in building a factory. I got my fast today. But to produce a sugar cane
at the same time, right? You can ensure that, I think a proper plan would have been to ensure that as the factory is opening, that you put in the plants in place, you have recruited enough farmers, you've assessed the 24 million that is available to you to ensure that as you open the door to the factory, that is producing. You don't open the door, finish,
exactly.
and then
That was what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. That's why when we did the test transmission in May, they shut it down to tune up, to do some tuning to get it perfect. With the assumption that by that time we should be able to get access the $24 million dollars and then give it to the outgrowers to grow the sugarcane, so that maybe by the end of the year the sugarcanes will be grown by the outgrowers, and then we go into production. Unfortunately, the assessing of that 24 million, there were some issues or some blockage or some difficulties we had on the way, so the money delayed. But the question is, at the time that we were leaving power, that money has been made available for this government to assess and continue with the project. They refused to assess it just because of their personal interest, because they knew that if they had assessed that money and have invested in that factory, it would have gone against them. It was going to politically, taint their image in the central region. That is why they decided to let it go rotten. Just like most projects across, like Sagleme, like the e-blocks that we have been talking about, that a chief spoke about, that the president insulted the chief and told him that he should go and do it if he can do it. I think we are going to come to that topic. So for me, let's put politics aside. Let's look at the interest of Mother Ghana. Let's look at the interest of Mother Ghana. I don't think Ifa is going to tell me that when Ifa is going to put up a factory, he will start producing the raw materials before he put up the factory, unless that's what he wants to tell us this afternoon. And I want to listen to him, and I want to hear what he's going to say.
Okay, great. So Ifa, I want you to go from. Of course, I want you to respond to what you just, what Paul just said, but I want you to tell me what the new deal is going to look like. What Chairman is putting together. Is it still assessing the Exim Bank financing of the 24 million, or what is the new deal? And that you are aware of. If you're not aware of that, it's fine. We can get that information and talk about it later. But if you know, I would be interested in that. Also, I want us to jump into another thing, but let's wrap this part up, and then we can talk about the GDP conversations that he talked about. The NDC not being a better manager of the economy. They were growing at this, 3%. That's what he inherited from them. He grew it 8%, 7%, 6% before COVID. We'll get into that. So, what is Chamante's plans? Here is a group, a group called ASAP, which is ASAP stands for Alliance for Survival of Abandoned Projects. In 2019, was challenging a report that Chairman has submitted. Let me just read it. It's challenging the justification of a valuation report submitted to Parliament of Ghana by Trade and Industry Minister Honorable Chairman on 4th April 2019. Now, essentially, what they are saying in this report is that, of course, PwC was asked to do the evaluation. And they did the one they did in 2016. They concluded that the factory is valued at $34,678,400. Okay, and then the one they are submitting in April of 2019 has depreciated or calculated a depreciation of $12,029,715 in 1 year. And this group is making the claim that the highest depreciation rate in Ghana is 5 to 10%. There is no way, and if you calculate 5 to 10% of 34 million, you should be getting 3.4 million. So there's no way, even if you are charging 10%, you could be depreciating this plant by $12 million. What is the plan that the MPP is going to bring in February 2022, and how are they paying for that?
Thank you very much, Mr. Amuzu. Alfred, I first have a protest, and then I'm going to go on my... Can you hear me?
Sure. You have a protest.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the first topic, right, where the president visits and going there, Paul spoke and I spoke and Paul rebutted and you didn't give me the chance to rebut, but that is fine.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
no,
you
no.
can take the chance. Take the
No,
chance.
no,
Take
no,
the chance.
no. I'm not going to
combine
go
with
on
this
that.
one.
I'm not going to go for time's sake, but we got to be fair, okay? Next time.
Right.
I'm going to allow him all that he said. I will have another time in another discussion to throw them all away.
Oh, you have the time now, so you can actually do
no.
that.
Let me go on to the to Commander Sugar Factory. Paul, I am currently have a team, right? I think one day we're gonna have time and discuss with you. We are trying to establish a factory in the sunflower industry in the country, right? So I have a team of I am part of that team. 15 people. We don't want to do anything to do with government. Now, anywhere in this country, since when we started adding value to sin, anybody, you will not read any scripture, and even in financing, in everything, that you go and tell somebody that, oh, I am going to put up a factory, and then later on come and assess this thing for me to go and do this thing. No businessman will do that. And I'm even surprised that we are here defending this. Now, since we came to power, have you heard any factory opened and it is shut down for us to go and look for money to go and establish raw material processing unit and all that kind of stuff? It doesn't. You don't do this anywhere.
Right.
I am a businessman and I will never ever invest in. Let's go and build a factory and then later go and look for raw material.
If it was your money, you wouldn't invest it that way.
Never. Nobody would do that. No businessman. Muhammad won't do it. Ibrahim won't do it. Paul, you will not do it. But for the sake of argument, you can say you're going to do it. That I don't have a problem with that. Because we have different appreciation, different way of doing stuff in this world. But if you do that as a businessman, you are running at a cost from the word go.
Yeah, it's interesting that you open the door and you don't have raw material. It's very
exactly. So we have to get that. Now, so that is the first premise. Now, the second premise was that, you see, when they commissioned the project, let's get the facts so that we can know how sometimes some of our politicians take us for granted. Now, when they open the raw materials, right, they show us sugar that is producing sugar. Now you are talking about test run. The sugar that you produce, go into the green book and show us this thing that you've written, bags of sugar. Now, if you did not have
one could produce that, of course, they're just showing you that it works. The machine works. It can produce sugar.
Okay.
Doesn't mean
so why are we talking about a shutdown 2 days later?
That it was running full time.
Why are we? Okay, I don't have a problem with that. So that was what you were bought into. Now you are telling us that there was no arrangement to look at the tongues he's mentioning. You think it's a joke? And okay. So let's even go back to the other discussion, right? Okay, so you are telling us this, and mind you, they didn't build it from the scratch. They did renovation of an existing factory, right? So the factory was there, had challenges and all that kind of stuff. Okay, if it took you 2 years, and you are telling us the varieties takes between, I think it is 6 months to 16, 24 months or so, depending on the variety, right? So let's even say you went for the one that takes you 2 years. Why was it not concurrently? Why didn't you run it concurrent? That you go alongside. Now, let me tell you, under the 1D, 1F, under the current 1D, 1F, for which reason you have not seen a single factory open that has been shut down. Talk about test run. Really, you don't even disturb us with test runs, because we don't know that we don't know that the test run is going to be successful or not. You commissioned us and you told us that it is suppressed. You for personalize it, and now from now onwards, about 7,300 people are going to be employed, and blah blah blah. And then you took all the media out there. Now that it's hitting you in the face. Now you bring in a new narrative in there. Oh, there was no raw material. Oh, we had made available this money on there. Now, between May and December or January 17, 2016, how many months? What did you do within that time? Nothing. Because all the afterthought that you are saying are things cooked up at Cuckoo Hill to come and lie to us. And, you know, as we discuss, people will know that this was a scam. This was one of the create, loot, and share. This is something but borders on incompetence, on mismanagement, on people that do know nothing or little about financing and business plans and all that kind of stuff. How many factories have we opened? Now, Okujeto Blokwa went round and he said he could count 9 factories that are being built. And those that have been commissioned, the ones that we've been helped to revive, you are not going to hear anything like it has been shut down because we don't have raw materials. Because it tells you the team that put it together. It tells you the consultation that went in. You just wanted to just squander the money. Now, this is what Mahama said. That there was the vision, right? But the vision was first to build, and that he wasn't foolish. He did economics, and then later on go look for raw materials. See, let me tell you, any economic student that said there's an economic teacher that taught him this. You see, if you tell me that I will not take it, it's not true. Nobody taught you that you know raw materials should wait for the factory to be built before. You see, don't do that anywhere. You're on mute. Don't do that anywhere. So
they are telling you that it's from the experience they had with what do you call it? Those beans. The hard beans that the Rawlings administration then had given to farmers to grow, but they didn't eat them in Ghana, and they didn't put in place the structures to export them, and people harvested them and couldn't export them. So they were being careful this time.
So all those things are excuses. Don't mind them. Now let me give you one example. Let me give you. So when it comes to raw materials, right? When it comes to raw materials in Ghana, first the ones that are consumables like coconut, like this, the locals will consume them. There is first the local consumption. So when people are consuming them locally, then the idea will come into, can we process this into this? Can we do this? What can we do? That is what brings in, you know, putting down machinery to do blah, 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 blah. Now, I had a friend. Let me talk about this. If my time is up, I'm fine. Yeah, we were going to go into coconut export, right? Somebody told me about coconut export. So I started contacting the Ghana Export Promotion Council and all that kind of stuff. Coconut in Ghana, the one produced in Ghana, they are all consumed locally. So if you go and set up to export, I mean, where are you even going to get it? You know what I mean? Because locally, they are consuming it. Right? That is what it is. You don't do that. Now, our project that we are ongoing in the sunflower industry, it is because they're facing challenges over there and nobody is taking it up. You see, everything is in place. The farmers are there, over 1 million of them. They are producing at every stage. There are, you know, they've done the soil everywhere. You know, then you bring all these things into financing, sustainability, and all that kind of stuff. And you go and put this thing up and you want it. Now, let's go to the current government and what the president said and all that. You see,
if you can wrap up on what they are going to do with the factory now, because it says Tramate putting a deal together in March.
So our industrialization agenda is private led. You know, the 1D, 1F, which this falls under, is all private led. So government support is very limited. We don't want a situation where, you know, previously we've had all these experiences, just as we've seen now, right? The government puts so much in there, it is run down, and we have challenges and challenges and challenges. So if we look at the cocoa industry that the NDC neglected, WAMCO and all these kind of challenges, we've revived it, it's working, and we've helped some other private sectors to come. Kumfi Juice is running, Casa de Ropa and all these kind of stuff are running, right? So we are looking for private investors to come in. You see, I don't personally have a problem with the $12 million evaluation that was done. If people think it is not, I don't have a problem with that. You know, we can call for more auditing for us to get a proper evaluation if this is not the case. But the challenge I would throw to the NDC is that, okay, 35 million, right?
Don't you think, why do we do this type of things to ourselves? Man? How do we, you came in and you're writing off a significant, this factory was built with $36 million, right? In the first place, you are writing off a third of that as depreciation.
Alfred,
Yeah.
I will Mahama and Ibrahim and a couple of NDC gurus can put up 12 million easily. This is no money for some of the businessmen in NDC. If they think the government is lying and government want to just give it away, they should just put up a distance and go and take it for 12 million as the government is putting it up. Let's say
there's no value for money in it for Ghana if you are going to take. I mean, they're not putting it. They're just.
But the whole thing is
what they are doing is if the depreciation for just the depreciation is just the fall in the value of the assets. And yes,
right.
If the depreciation for just 1 year is 12 million, and this we are talking about between 2016 and 2017 is 12 million. If you multiply that by where are we now? We're in 2021, right? So that's 12 million 2020, 12 million.
4 year down the lane.
4 year down the lane. Multiply by 4. The factory is 0 now. This thing on
no. So no. That's I know where you're coming from, but no. So we have the annual depreciation, right? But if it devalues over time, you still go there and you're going to see some machinery, even the land and all these. There are certain things they don't go away in terms of value. They may reduce, but it is not a case that completely zero. Unless nobody wants it at all, we just want to give it away. But okay, whatever it is, I'm not challenging anything. It may be wrong, it may be right. I mean, we are all entitled to all those opinions, and I share the opinion of the ASA people. Fine, we are all contributing towards development, right? But what the challenge I'm throwing to people is the people in the other side, the NDC side, right? The business people that are there. Ibrahim is putting up the cement factory. This is like millions of dollars, right? He has the money, and they can put together a team within there. Oh, that the government is trying to sell it to their friends and all that. They should put up a consortium and challenge that. If it is so cheap. If the thing has been brought down, so I mean, whatever, put up a team and go and grab it.
And then bid for it. Okay.
It is ready for whoever, because even the 12 million, we are not even getting people. So the plan is government is continue. There were people, a lot of people have come to make the assets, and whatever government want to take, they don't want to get in, and government don't want to fully commit itself into all those stuff, right?
Okay.
So that is where we are now.
Okay.
But it is
okay.
But okay.
Go ahead. So wrap it up, and then we'll go into the.
Exactly. So the long and short of it is that some of these things we must learn from it and know that you see, when you are planning something, plan it fully. Plan it fully. Like we're going to do politics with Terminal 3, right? But at the end of the day, it is functioning, it is giving us the money and stuff like that and all that kind of stuff. You'll see that over there, even though the money was high, we have the thing functioning. But you go here, and the major aspect of it, which should have preceded it, you did not. And now you're telling people that, oh, you did the right thing. No, admit that it was wrong. Next time when you get the opportunity, don't go and build any factory anywhere. And then go look for the raw material somewhere. No, it's never acceptable.
I just want to state,
this is not able to deliver factories in an integrated manner.
I just want to state on fact that if you are talking about factory, we have our works are there to show. This noise that my brother is making, all the factories that they are claiming they build, these factories are private factories that the people themselves were building, which they went just to partner with the people. So you should not sit here and tell us that they've built battery farms. They've never built any factory from the scratch. That's number one. Number two, I want to put on the fact over here that he stated that the sugar growing or the sugar variety is between 6 to 2 years. That is not true. It's between 6 and 9 months. And if I is telling that when the factory was we were building the factory, we should have planted the raw materials.
We don't want a fact to come back again. So let's, I think so that we can go to the next other thing. So basically, the president also said that he managed the economy in such a way that under him in 2017, GDP grew by 8%. The following year, GDP grew by 7%. And in right before COVID, he was actually growing the economy at 6%. The NEC actually collapsed the economy to the extent The economic growth he inherited was 3%. So how can you tell him he's not doing well? Let's start with Paul.
Mr. Ifa, once again, this shows how dishonest, shameful, and then visionless this government is. Look, it's a fact, and the document is there. As 2016, because of the good economic management that were put in place, the IMF, World Bank, and other CSOs have projected that Ghana was going to grow in 2017-2018 with our economic, figures, indicators rising up. It's a fact. And Ifa cannot deny this thing. So let me make it clear to Ifa, for his president to come and sit on radio and be boasting with 2017-2018, you came to power in 2017, 7th January. There's nothing he did. It was due to the good work that was put in place by the ex-Mahama administration. And the fact and figures and every indication show that in 2017-2018, we're going to get a good economic indicators, which was a fact by the IMF. So for you to come to power and for you to, see those figures and be boasting about it, is just a shame. The president, as we speak, what is the economic indicators of our economy? What are the figures as we speak? When COVID came, before COVID came, the economy was going into ditch, and COVID came. With all the money that they accessed from the IMF, from the World Bank, and then from the central bank, as we speak, we went down into below 1. So for them to be sitting and be telling us that they were the best economy, it's neither here nor there. You are on mute.
So in COVID, we had 0.9%, but since we went under 1. Rebounded, we are going to probably end at around 3% this year. And then grow.
We want to be honest. We want to be honest, okay? And then be truthful to ourselves this afternoon. And if I want to be honest to your listeners this afternoon, Akufo-Addo taking power 2017, the work they've done will reflect after 2 years. So let's assume 2019, 2020. And what figures did you get in 2019? What figures did you get in 2020? 2020, we went less than 1%. COVID. So for him to come and sit on radio and be saying that they've got the best economic is a lie. And once again, the president was throwing dust into the eyes of the good people of Ghana.
Right.
It is a fact that the IMF was expecting good economic indicators in 2017, 2018. That is the reason why when they came, they make a lot of noise about we going to IMF. And when they came, the program was supposed to end on 2017. They extended it 1 more year. Why did they do that? If they think they were strong, they have good economic people, why didn't they allow the program to end on 2017? You see, this MPP government, they are a group of people who will try to lie, throw dust into the eyes of the Ghanaians, but the figures on the ground does not suggest what it is. I am saying here, IFA should deny it that the IMF, the World Bank, and other, financial institutions did not make a pronouncement in 2016 that due to the good work that, or due to the fundamental work that has been done, we are going to see a boost in our economy in 2017, 2018. I want IFA to deny it. So IFA, you guys didn't do anything in 2017, 2019 because you took power. You couldn't have done anything in 2017 to get those figures, the 7% that he was talking about. It was due to the work that the NDC left, and we left a lot of resources for you. Mr. Amos, don't also forget that at the time that the NDC was in power, we have only one oil field. We worked very hard. As at the time we were leaving power, we handed over 3 oil fields to this super incompetent government. Even with 1 oil field, we were making 3.4 with that oil. Now, you guys, we handed 3 different oil fields for you. And look at the figures we are seeing now. Less than 1. And you think it's something that the president should go and sit on a radio and be boasting. He didn't even get his figures right. That's why I told you the man is not in charge. He doesn't even know what is happening. Anything that he do, he has to refer and be looking at his advisors sitting around him. Mahama will give you the figures off his head. This president will not be able to do that. So if I am telling you that figures that your super incompetent president was stating or putting out there are not the actual facts. it was due to the good work that the NDC did, and IMF has stated that 2017-2018 we're going to see good, our economy is going to boost up.
But actually, the numbers are correct though, right? Because the
numbers are correct. But I'm saying that it was not due to his hard working. It was due to the work that was done in 2016 that gave those good figures. So you should stop boasting about it.
Okay. Efra, you've heard what Paul has to say. Paul is saying that at the time you or the MPP came into power, even up to the middle of by June, they just had now done their provisional budget. So, none of what they saw as growth in 2017 is due to any plans that they have executed, which would have reflected in the performance they chalked, which is the best they've chalked since. And it declined year after year. Even as the president was saying it, you could see it declining. And so then NDC is making a claim that they were building the infrastructure for sustainable development. And the first impact year was the 2017. And since that impact, that your government mismanaged it. What do you say?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Interesting discussion. I like that.
They have 3 oil field. They've misused.
It's okay. You can even make it. You can even make it 10. I don't have a problem with that. As many as you can put in there. So let's go to let's take the Fourth Republic, right? Kufuor inherited from Rawlings 4 or 5%. I'm not sure. I stand to be corrected, right? So by the time Kufuor was leaving office, he grew to 9%, right? So you could see the progression. And then Mills took on. Mills took it from 9% from Kufuor and grew it to 14%. Now, tell me when Mahama took over, on what basis should 14% come all the way down to 3.6? On what basis? Tell me. We shouldn't speak as if the thing was coming upwards, right? And then all of a sudden went into a down ditch. When Mahama took over, what was the crisis for which we should come to 3.6%? You tell me. Are we good on that? So there we go. So you, Mahama, you took the economy from 14%. You know what happened? It was mismanagement, misdirection, and planned thing like all that we're talking about. Building factory before you go look for raw materials. Where are you going to get, mismanagement, incompetence, doomso.
Yeah, but doomso was not caused by him, right?
Well, whatever, right? I mean, whatever.
Doomso was a compilation of mismanagements proud to him.
Okay, but okay. Look at it. It became okay. So we are talking about the economic numbers, right? And when Kufuor was taking over, there was they did something, the Bui Dam and all that. Everybody was adding on to it, the tarmac and all that. But also, despite all these challenges, Kufuor grew it to 9%. Despite all these challenges, Mills grew it to 14%. What happened with Mahama? What happened? What was the major cause for which we should go into this ditch?
He said there was a problem at the oil
Tell
field.
Him. Tell him. Tell him. No way. Tell him.
They didn't drill oil for.
Atubiga came on your show and he said that this was planned in the boardroom of some top people within there so that they can supply the Ghanaian with this and blah 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 blah. Economic mismanagement for them to benefit the pockets of some people. It is a fact that Mahama took the economy at 14%.
Are you alleging that what we experienced in Ghana, the drop in GDP growth because we were not drilling enough oil because we had a technical problem?
I am saying that
was because the president's brother then orchestrated something in the background.
I haven't mentioned it, but this. I am telling you that
in the boardroom created.
No. I didn't mention Ibrahim. I'm sorry if I mentioned Ibrahim. I'm not privy to the people that were in the board. But I'm telling you that Atubiga was on your show. Atubiga was on your show. And he said Doomsor was intentionally created to put money into people's pockets.
I don't think he said that on my show, though.
True or not, that is not. But what I'm saying is that, you see, Mahama mismanaged everything.
Right.
You see, all the things that we talk about and credit him came by chance, by whatever. It was total mismanagement, from employment to finance to you can name it. Every aspect of this thing. That was what ditched us. So if they knew how to grow an economy, if they know why more than 10% downward distance, they don't know.
Okay, so let me ask you.
And I'm telling you, I'm telling you, if I can finish, all the projections.
You guys tell me that you did so well in 2017, but so far it looks like you're on a decline. What is the reason for your decline since 2017?
If you say decline, you have to give numbers.
If you are so good at managing it, then why are you going backwards?
That's a good question to him.
Okay, so we can look at the factors, right? So it was 8%, 9. It was 8, 7, and 6, right?
It was never 8. You've never gone to 8. They never gone to 8%.
It was 7.8, not 7.8. It was 7.8.
Okay, 7. Okay, so let's say 7.76, right?
Right.
Add 2020 to 8. Add 2020 to it. 2020 0.9%.
Let's not even
2020.
No. It's 0.9%. You should add it to 8.
I mean, if COVID had hit, if I can finish, you will get your time, man.
If you say it's not at 2020, you are not being fair, because 2015, 2016, we're facing Doomsor in the country. That is why we came down as 3.4.
No.
We'll add 2020 to it. We'll add 2020 to it.
Okay, so Paul, if you want to come in, I can give you all the time. I don't have a problem. Don't struggle to defend. Don't struggle to defend me when I talk. And
I'm not saying anything. Just at 2020, 0.9%.
Okay, Paul, let him finish his point.
we can even put negative there. I don't have a problem, right? 2020 is a special case. I can make my point. You can make your point. I don't have a problem with how members are going to take it, right? Everybody was hit. But if you take 776, right? You cannot even say we did bad, right? You cannot say we did bad. And then COVID hit, right? Even with COVID hitting us and we go into point whatever percentage, right? Now we are still in there. It is not a new distance. And you see, the projection was even going to be negative. And then based on certain indicators, they say we're going to climb up. Right?
Yeah,
so
it's all oil related though. Oil prices went up. So you came back.
Right.
You didn't do any magic.
So whatever be the case.
You see the inconsistencies? You see the inconsistencies for me?
No. If I can finish, whatever be the case, in an economy, something can go against you, something can come against you, but your management will tell. Right? Now, the Doomsor that we experienced that 4 years under Mahama, or how many years under Mahama, it is not what we are experiencing now. And we've done a lot of management work. If they were there, we say it all the time. They can say if they were there, it would still have grown, blah, blah, blah. When we came, right, the IMF has also indicated that the NDC was not going to be out of the IMF bailout because of the way they've managed certain stuff. They have missed out on a lot of things.
Really?
No,
this is not true.
No, okay.
This is not true. I've said it in record straight.
I don't recall the schedule was there. The station was actually done by your administration. But exactly, I think you're not being fair when you say, well, I'll let you. I'll just blank that for you. But
okay, that is perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I said the Doomsor, you're not being fair when you say that they actually fixed the Doomsor before you came. You didn't have any Doomsor to fix when you came, right?
But
here's the thing, the generational capacity.
God gracious.
So the generational capacity thing was fixed. We actually had excess capacity.
Exactly.
You are the one paying, you are the one paying judgment there because of excess capacity.
Listen. This is what I take on. Okay.
This one was over
Okay, very
right?
good. Okay, very good. This is what I take on. This is what I take on with the Christians. That if a Christian come to tell me that I'm suffering on here to pray and go and walk on gold somewhere, I'm not going to take that. You see, if you have generational capacity, but you don't have transmission capacity, if somebody is generating something in the whatever they're generating at the station, but they cannot get to the people, how are you going to have production and all that kind of stuff?
But in fact, the distribution, transmission, all that, we were supposed to have gotten what do you call it? Compact 3 from the Americans. For our distribution.
Okay, so Compact 3. Did Compact 3 come?
Compact 3 didn't come because your super incompetent president.
Okay, hold on. You see, Paul, make your notes. You see, you're talking about distribution. Compact 3 should have come for distribution. Compact 3 did not come. As we are speaking, are we talking about distribution issues here?
Yeah, but I'm saying that the distribution and transmission, the transmission thing too, if you recall, the transmission too was because all these administrations prior to what do you call it? Your president and current president mishandled transmission. The forecasts were all there in the energy strategic plans. So
you see,
cause a transmission problem.
Very good point. I agree with you. You see another incompetence again. So our peak capacity in Ghana is 2,400, right? And then you go for generational capacity of 5,000. You see what Muhammad did to all the various sectors, and you are paying for it.
It's not true. Our peak capacity is 2,000.
But also, you should remember
what is our peak capacity?
It is not true.
What is our peak capacity?
Stop misinforming us this afternoon.
What is our peak capacity? No, what is our peak capacity? What is our peak capacity?
That generation.
No, what is our peak capacity? No. What is Ghana's peak capacity?
Hold on.
What is Ghana's peak capacity?
Our peak capacity as at the time was 3,200. Okay,
I am telling you that is a lie. Paul, I've never told you've lied before. This is a lie.
Okay, tell us what the truth is.
The truth, we can go and find it. And okay, so he said 3,200, and I am saying 2,400. Now you are the referee. Go and give us our peak capacity in Ghana after 2016, 2015.
2016, 2017, don't use 2015. 2016, 2017, we handed over to you 2017. As at the time we're living.
I am telling you, you signing up a contract when we did not, you sent far over twice our peak capacity, and you are telling us you want to add more to our peak capacity.
The focus is that we were going to even be in about 10,000 by 2022 or so, which the capacity we are going to need anyway. So the capacity we have, Vaco is there. Vaco is there running on 2 smelters. Well, we have 5 smelters, which can significantly increase the.
Okay, so why didn't you fix it?
I mean, I'm saying that you are saying you have excess capacity. The capacity is in your hand. The government has to use the capacity
you are going to give birth to. You are going to give birth to 5 children, right? You have 2. So you start making arrangements, building and paying school fees for the ones you're going to build in, you're going to have in the future. Is that what you're going to do?
No, but I'm saying that you have inherited capacity, right? And you say you have excess capacity. Meanwhile, there's Falco sitting there using only 2 of their smelters. They have 3 laying fallow. You have to make the decision to use the capacity you have to support VACO to smelt more and increase GDP.
So this agreement was signed in 2015. Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they do that?
Yeah, but
2 years. Why didn't they do that?
I mean, the car badge and all these things, by the time they came in online and resolved, and then the capacity actually went up, it was around 2016, they were ready to get out of the government.
They signed the agreement in 2015. We took over 2017, 2 years. Why didn't they do what you're telling me? 2 years. Why didn't they do that?
Like you said, they signed agreement in 2015.
You can
take a day all of a sudden, right after signing the agreement.
2 years. It doesn't take a day, 2 years. What you are saying is that we had the generator capacity. We didn't have the transmission capacity.
Right.
We didn't have it. And when you talk, they say put it in place. You see, they talk as if it is done with the flip of a finger. And that is why I am telling you that since we took over, we have the challenges here and there. But for the most part, it's been stable. And we keep working on it and working on it and working on it. Okay? So, but we are not here to discuss that. So what I'm saying is that, you see, it was bad management on his side. Even the solutions, the things that he was bringing in place to resolve it were all bad. Nothing thought through. They were all to squander money and make a lot of money out of the Ghanaian. And we, being the better managers of the economy, are now fixing some of these things, some of which are perpetual. We have generational capacity sitting there, and we can't transmit. We can't even transmit to neighboring countries because we don't have the transmission capacity. You need to build a transmission capacity, which takes a chunk of your resources. Meanwhile, we need money for education, we need money for health, we need money for all these kind of stuff. So you see, you build all these things based. You see, one of the things we've not done is, with time. That is why we have the population census. And we see that, our population is growing, the numbers are assembling here, and then you improve upon it. But you can look, when you take education sector, infrastructure problem, when you take roads problem, when you take hospitals, this, that. Meanwhile, you go somewhere and somebody has contracted the country into all these money siphoning through the system for whatever reason. Only they know. So it is a fact, and the records are there. Kufuor grew the economy to 9% with all the challenges. Mills 14%. Right. What did Mahama leave us? Right. But we are in power. We have done our part. Right. We will be COVID hit. People could whatever is the reason.
I think
where we are coming into, that is perfectly fine. As we go along, end of this year, we're going to see.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about abandoned project. Right?
No, Mr. Amusu, before you go there, before you go to the abandoned project, if I owes me an apology, let's all go to the internet and Google and look at the Ghana's energy capacity as of 2016. And it is 3,795 megawatts. Right. I was saying it's around 3,200, and he was saying 2,400. So he said I'm a liar. So he has to retract because the facts speak for what it is. Right. When you go and Google, Ghana's energy capacity at the end of 2016 was 3,795 megawatts. So what is the fact talking about? So if please, you have called me a liar this afternoon. I want you to retract it because you are my good friend.
You're not going to be the only one retracting. I think presidents also need to retract what he said to the Aflawu chief. What do you think about that? So you retract first, and then we'll talk about president's retraction that he need to do.
If are you there?
If are you running away?
Oh no! I'm back. Hello. No. Hey. Go. When did you sign the contract? You signed it in 2015. Go and Google our capacity as of 2015.
I am saying that the time when we power 2015, that our energy capacity in Ghana is around 3,200. That's what I say.
Okay.
Better figure is 3,795.
Go back a year before. You signed it in 2015. You won't go there. You won't go there.
A year before, what you should be looking at is the capacity then. Not because the contract wouldn't have come along.
Okay, listen. So you are missing a point. Now, the capacity then, right? You could not manage it. You had financial problems you could not manage. So if you are not able to manage it, Right? And we are talking about, hold on. We are talking about hold on. Hold on, let me finish. We are talking about, no. I didn't make
it. We had enough capacity, but they only did, we only had Duplo because they mismanaged that capacity. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Nah.
Okay.
No.
Okay, you can say that. Okay.
Without the car batch coming in, without the car batch coming with Mary coming in, we didn't have capacity to where we even have excess capacity.
What was our capacity before America came in? What was our capacity? What was our capacity before America came in? What was our capacity?
Paul will Google it for us once we.
America was 2,000. Hold on. It was 2,053.
What was the need?
Okay, so 2,053. What is our capacity right now?
What was the need then? You gotta consider what was the need then. The projection that we are going to need, the projections are there in our strategic plan of what capacity we need, and it's clear.
Listen.
We didn't have capacity.
No.
At the time,
You see, listen. You gotta listen. So when you have listen. You are not listening, and we need to discuss this thing dispassionately. We bring politics. Right. So if you let's even say your capacity is 4,000, right? Mm-hmm. No, let's even go with 3,000 capacity, right? What you see, you add a little bit to it, like maybe 500, because some of the turbines will go. You have to shut it off so that you use it to replicate and all those kind of things. I don't have a problem with that, right? No, so as at 2015, right? Mm-hmm. Right, our capacity was 2,000 something. I think you Google it and you saw it. So if our peak capacity at that time was 2,400, right? What was the need for 5,000 when you could have gone 3,000? What was the need for that? And then the 2,000 capacity that we had locally, you and I know that Akosomo had challenge. Some of the turbines were not running. We owe some of these producing, for which they are not giving us the supply challenges here. We were getting gas from Nigeria. We were not paying them. So why don't you fix the one that you are facing? Why don't you fix it? Then you went out there and then you say, let me double it to 5,000. Meanwhile, the 2,000 you cannot even manage. And we are here paying for excess capacity when we see still we cannot even transmit it to some parts of the country. Do you think that makes sense? If that makes sense to you, that's perfectly fine. We can go on.
You see, the question over here is, we're talking about excess capacity. And I was telling you, at the time we're leaving power, our excess capacity.
But why are we even shifting the whole argument to energy? We are talking about GDP here, you see? Because we are defeating them, the whole thing has shifted to this thing.
No, you do that. Okay, great. So let's
But Alfred, before we move, let it be on record that he rather lied. I never lied on this.
Okay, listen. Okay, let me rephrase. No. Alfred, let me rephrase my statement. Okay. So if you are saying 2016, 2017 capacity, then you are wrong and I'm right. But if you are saying 2015, our capacity wasn't that.
Why did I speak about 2015?
Because 2015 was when you signed the contract.
Which contract? A lot of contracts.
The energy contract. The energy. Huh?
A lot of contracts were signed in 2015.
We are talking about energy. The 14 or 40 energy contract that you signed. When did you sign them?
Let's move on.
Oh yeah.
Let's move on. The president says on his tours when he stopped in the 15 regions that he's already gone to so far, to thank the people who actually, voted for him a second time to return him to power, that all he hears from Bolgatanga all the way to Aflao from the chiefs are that they are praising him for the good work he's done in fixing our roads. Now, this is in the same interview that the president has to apologize to the people of Cape Coast, because the feedback that people gave him was that, they didn't have the harbor that was in their manifesto, that was even promised to them, that, executive members of the administration spoke about, on several occasions to them, promises made to them. This is in the same interview that the president of Aflao and the president of Aflao, the chief of Aflao, Togwe Amanyafiti, and other chiefs had videos all over complaining about e-blocks not being open, or one project or the other here not being continued. Is the president actually giving us a good report of what he's hearing from the people by saying that all the chiefs are saying, the chiefs are talking about is the roads that he has constructed? But when we hear videos from the chiefs are actually complaining about projects that he has abandoned. Is he becoming an abandonment project president, or project abandonment president? Project abandonment. Is that what he's becoming?
Who is speaking?
No, it's me. Yeah, I gotta go first, obviously. So if one person speaks from a particular place, you cannot say it is a representation of all Ghanaians. I don't think that the chief speaking was after a meeting with the House of Chief, and then he's been mandated to speak on behalf of. So let's get that clear. That man is an NDC member and doing politics for the NDC. The government has never said, I don't complain about anything, projects, whatever. And people have been complaining about projects. And the ones that needed to be taken care of, for which, plans are far advanced. If there is a problem, we rush in and do it. And we've seen a lot of them. The Medina case where people were being knocked down, they went there. And even after that, see, sometimes people do politics with it. After the Medina case, people still use they were knocked down, and this time around they keep quiet, they don't even talk about it. So some of these things is more political than just genuinely advocating for some stuff. Now, we have said on record that if this government, what we've done in terms of past administration's project, if it has been a continuation of that, we wouldn't even be talking about some of these projects that have been abandoned 40 years and all that kind of stuff. There's not a single aspect of the nation's thematic areas that we haven't tackled: education, health, whatever, roads and stuff like that. Most of which were started by previous government, and we have continued.
That's a lie.
We have. The University of Ghana Medical Center, it wasn't a completed project. Even when they commissioned it, they did not even operationalize it. We have operationalized it, and we've started with the phase 2. You go to the Eurojet projects are ongoing. The Eurojet projects are 10 key projects. You want to find out what a 10 key project is. The government don't have anything to do with it. After the contract, they finish, you go inspect it, and then you take it out from there. So it is totally in the hands of this thing. You check it once in a while. You talk about the e-blocks. Yes, this is where I'm getting the opportunity to talk about the propaganda Paul was talking about. The e-blocks that you handed over to us, it was 23 that were completed. The 23 that the IMF gave you money to finish, those were the ones that you completed. Now, the others, there were 27 of them that were at advanced stages of completion, right? So we look at it, we look at where they are, we look at it, and we have completed 27 of them. The minister has gone to parliament, has made a presentation, the list are there, I can forward to you, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Talk of all these kind of stuff. The ones that are not done yet, it is not that we have completely abandoned them. No. We have assessed them, and we're looking at, you're
not paying the contractors, so the contractors are not showing up. That's what it means.
Because there was, you see, some of these things were not thought through projects, right? So the financing is not there. So we have to go look for the financing to complete them, right? So we look at the ones, so 27 of them makes sense. So we completed them. The others, we're going to come on, but now it is not a priority right now. You get what I mean? Now, when it comes to the when it comes to the education sector, right? You know, we have the Jet Fund project in almost all the educational institutions, the second cycle and the tertiary institutions. Most of these projects were started way by. I want to focus on the in the Fourth Republic. Was started way by Mills, by Rollins, and they're still sitting down there. And when you complete them, it increases their capacity. When you complete three classroom blocks, 6 classroom blocks, dormitory, it increases the school's capacity. Right. So on what basis would you leave Achimota, Prempe, and all these people with all their huge facilities over there to go and completely start a new thing? They already have the teachers. They already have the sports facility. They already have all that it takes. Just need 6 classroom block so you can increase it. That's maybe a dormitory, boarding house unit or something like that. Then you leave it. You go and take all these whatever, put them in a booth somewhere. And for now, we are focusing on completing those ones that are so they've been prioritized, right? Into immediate needs that we need them right now. And we are looking at the schools and the projects that are abandoned since Rollins' time. So we have not. Let me give you a case in point. When the Rollins went to
obviously what the president is hearing, I think if the discussion is about projects being abandoned, then obviously the feedback the president is giving us is inaccurate, right? People are not praising him for the roads that he's built.
Oh, people are praising him. But then these people, and the people are the ones turning it around. That's fine though. It's politics. That's fine. So when you hear the people that are complaining, it is mostly the NDC, not like, don't say Ghanaian. Let me give you one praise. The Speaker of Parliament right now, the Speaker of Parliament, his constituency, there was an energy project all the way Rollins' time, right? How many years was Mahama in office? They did not. And when you could see the passion that was in when Honorable Abangbagben was talking. Oh, Mr. President, thank you very much. I have been talking and talking and talking. So how do you call this person an project abandoned person? All the hospitals have been tackled. Saglame, it's not an abandoned project. You have paid all the money. The money that's supposed to give us 5,000 units, even if it was 1,500. All the money has been paid.
This money we're not going to say.
No. It is an abandoned project. We are not going there, but I'm talking about all the money. If it is an abandoned project, why have we gone in to find out and people are
all the 5,000 units? No, that's not true. The 5,000 units as we talked about on this program over and over again. Those things were supposed to be in phases. It was supposed to be selling the inventory and using the funds to rebuild.
Alfred. I'll give it to you. So 1,500, right? 1,500 for 200 million, right?
Right.
Okay.
Including the networks that is going to support all the 5,000.
So the money has been paid, right?
Yeah.
Do we have the 1,500? Do we have the 1,500 units over there? Do you have the 1,500 units over there?
There is what do you call it? We've discussed this for a long time. There was about 700 of them are still completely done. There's about
so you see the way. Okay, Alfred. Alfred. So when it comes to Saglame, you think that what has been done so far is good? You see, you are defending.
We're not definitely talking Saglame.
No. But is it not a project? Is it not a project? No. It's Saglame, not a project.
Yeah, but we are saying specifically that the feedback the president is giving us that people are praising him for roads, the chiefs especially. When we turn around and we see the videos the chiefs are posting,
we've
actually admitted to
we've not done any road. We've not done any road in Ghana. We've not done any road.
That he made a
MPP government from 2016 up to now hasn't done any road in Ghana. I'm asking you.
Roads, right? The roads are in the program all the time. You see the asphatic overlays.
Okay.
We are saying that the feedback you're getting from the kids, the Flautis, the Cape Coast people, and the president admitted himself that it was a mistake. Do you think it was a mistake?
We will come to that. Let's talk about the abandoned projects first. I am saying that no project is abandoned. Now, when we are talking about roads, in my region, Bono East, we need roads. In my constituency, in my town where I come from, Jema, and we don't even have inner roads. But there's been a lot of inner roads that have been contracted. So we should also go on demonstration. We should also be giving ultimatum to the president. No, I don't think so. Right? There are a lot of things. Each president comes and they do their part. I agree with them that we have slow-paced our developmental agenda in terms of roads and schools and health. No two ways about that. And we need to speed up on that. So
that is also when the government has been the one that took the most loans. So how did it turn out that you slow down your developmental or your development of roads in Ghana when you have the most money?
So so when you go into, you get finance, and you sometimes you accent this because you are the host. When you go into, when they go into, Alfred, when they go into loan contracts, right? You cannot go and take a loan, say you are going to do Commander Factory with that plan, and then use that money to go and do something else. When next time when you will not even be credible in the loaning community. So there are specific things that you go for loans for, So, but what is important is that let's not stretch this issue. Yes, and then we cannot also say that all of a sudden everything should come. We've heard people on the other side talking about, we did this, we did that, we did that. If we are to go by what they're telling us, that the infrastructure, the nation building, why are we talking about these things as if Ghana became Ghana and that there are no roads and he has to build all those roads right now? Where did the roads went to? Where did it go? Can somebody tell us? Now, talking about what when I heard what the president said about Cape Coast before the interview, I was confused myself. I must admit. I told myself, no, something is missing somewhere. All right. That we have this in our manifesto. The vice president said this and the president said it. That we couldn't reconcile them. So I needed a reconciliation, and that's perfectly what he said, right? Which is that what he said did not represent the case. You can make politics with it and all that kind of stuff. It has nothing to do with the people of Cape Coast and all that. He said they were going to look into getting them a landing site, not a harbor. At least he's been honest, and we have to take this honesty that we are human beings. Sometimes maybe we said something, but when we look down, this thing cannot be the case.
I'm asking you, do you actually think it's a mistake? Because you are saying that this thing is in your manifesto. It has been said by the vice president previously. Now the president talking about it. Is the president not aware of all these instances of the claim to build a harbor for the people of Cape Coast? And think about it. Are you saying that the people who put that in the NPP's manifesto made a mistake? Are you saying that whenever the vice president referred to the harbor in Cape Coast, he was making a mistake? Why are they all making a mistake?
No. So
why are you
the only one who got it right? So no. Not the manifesto, not what the vice president said. We're focusing on the president. What he said. And you see what he said and what he said at the interview with Kwami Safaka, that he made a mistake with what he said. And that is where it ends. You cannot go back to it and just oppose it around the others. I believe that if we want to build a Cape Coast, you see I am the one that believes that Ghana makes so much money that whatever we want to do, we should be able to do it.
Right.
And we have to hold politicians to whatever they say, so that we are not going to have this occasion of because if you go consistently from 1992 up to now, there are a lot of promises made over the years that have not been fulfilled. We brush over, we go away. We should hold politicians accountable to whatever they say. We have it in our manifesto.
Okay.
We owe the people of The Cape Coast, whatever we've promised them, if we cannot deliver it now, that is perfectly fine. If we cannot give them the harbor, but we want to give them a landing site, that is fine. But I think that I think that, to wrap it up, I think that a harbor and an airport is feasible, and we can do it. If we don't have the money now, because when we look through, there are challenges with the money, that is perfectly fine. We can come back to the people. But that is feasible and that is possible. Thank you.
Okay, Paul. So, like you said,
yes,
you know, the president made a genuine mistake in talking about these things, but I don't for one believe that this is a mistake. I think this perhaps it's a promise, it's an over promise, the promise that was not going to be realized, but he was promised, it was in a manifesto, he helped him win election. So now reality hits. He can't really deliver. So and there's so many things, I mean, that are now coming to the fore that perhaps were promised before. So we'll see how all that unravels, right? But the president is, you know, and the team are trying to say that Cape Coast doesn't need a harbor. There's one in what do you call it? Takrady already. Elmina has a harbor. Elmina, actually, my understanding is so you tell me what you know about Elmina.
So Mr.
Elmina has a harbor, so Cape Coast doesn't need one. The airports, you know, the understanding is Takrady is already having one, so does Cape Coast also need one. So and the NDC, my understanding, it has a whole page on aviations and of course all the other sectors that address the specific plans that they have for railway transportation, for airports, you know, harbors, etc., that they will be discussing at their conference. So you, Paul, do you think the president actually made a mistake, or do you think this is also just a political?
Yeah, Mr. Amusu, I'm going to address this issue, and we allowed IFA to make a lot of infactual statement this evening over here. I've just posted on the War Room graphic online post, which the former Minister of Education, Martin Opoku Prempeh, is on record saying that the NDC completed 46 of the E block project before leaving power. So I don't know where that 27 that he's coming from. Today, this is the second time IFA is giving us misinformation or distorting the facts.
Right.
And you know what? A chameleon, no matter how you throw water against it, you will always change its colors, depending upon the situation that is or that he found himself. So I'm not surprised about the way my brother is changing colors tonight. He lied about, or I will not say he lied, it's too a stronger word. He's a brother to me, so I will not go that. He misinformed us about the capacity as of 2016, and he just misinformed us about the E block, the 46 E block we built, which he claimed were 26. So at 27. So let's say the record, so it's 46. So the Minister of Education himself has made that fact right. I cannot hear you. Alfred, I cannot hear you.
Yeah, I think there's the numbers game out there, right? Where the NDC says they built 40 something.
No. If you go to graphic online, it's an authentic.
And this is Prempeh, who was the former Minister of Education,
exactly.
saying that, right?
Yeah. So, if you go to graphic online, it is there. If you go into his presentations, if you look at the Hansard in Parliament, it is there. It is 46. So let's say the record straight. That's why I'm saying that a chameleon, no matter how you throw water against it, it will always continue to change its colors. It will never remain white. It will change black, blue, yellow, green. Now let's put that aside. I've said that record straight. The number two, look, my brother, if I was trying to justify the arrogancy and the disrespect and the, unacceptable on civil language that the president responded to Togbi Fiti, that is unacceptable. If I should be frank and honest to himself, can the president respond to the Santinhe or the Achimne in that manner? And the answer is obvious, no. Look, the president goofed. He showed the arrogancy once again. That is why I have stated that no matter how you throw a water against a chameleon, the chameleon will never change. Will never, keep on changing its colors. The president is shooting the time the way he speak, it depends on who he's speaking to. You know the way he speak to you and show his arrogancy. So strictly, he was exhibit his arrogancy to the highest level to the Voltairean chief, which I am a Voltairean. It affects me because I don't think if he has done this to Ashanti, the Ashantis over here will sit down and let this thing go scot-free. The president has shown disrespect. He has to go and apologize to the chief because the chief has every right to demand that the E-block that they started breeding in his community should be completed. He has every right because his people pay taxes, just like the people in a first hometown. We all pay taxes. So we have every right to demand of the fair share of our cake. So even whatever the chief said, the president should have been a father of the nation, should have, responded in a nice way to say, okay, you said, I've heard it, we'll look at it and we'll go. You don't tell a chief that if you are giving authority, then go and build it yourself. He can never say that to Asantene or to Achimli, so he cannot then say the same thing to a Voltairean chief. Let's respect our chiefs and let's show our chiefs that we respect them. And we are waiting. 2016, they will go back to Aflawu to go and seek for vote. We are waiting. We'll see what will happen. I will leave that one to pass. Now, let me move on to the question you asked about, projects that, are not being completed and all those stuff. Look, there's a lot of projects that we handed over to these people that is not completed. And look, whether NDC, MPP, whatever it is, this is not good for Ghana. I think the time has come for Ghana to pass a law to insist to make sure that any government that comes or that takes over, okay, project that your predecessors are working on, you ensure that you complete them because it is the taxpayers' money that is used in doing those things. For me, I have come here to say that whatever it is, Akufo-Addo himself on that interview stated that wherever he goes, people are asking him about, roads, project, and all those stuff, which means the people need development. They need people, they need infrastructures. That is why they are speaking. So what is wrong for a chief or a paramount chief of the people of Aflawu to request that he's asking you to complete the project that was started by a predecessor, which have been left in the bush? There's nothing wrong with it. So for me, it's a total disrespect, and the president must apologize, just like the way he apologized to the people of Cape Coast. And for this, I give it to him. I give it to him. For once, I don't know. That is why maybe it rained in my area, because the president has said the truth for once. He has, swallow the humble pie for once. He should do the same thing by swallowing the humble pie, just like where he went and lied about not building a harbor in Cape Coast, and later came back to tell us that it was a mistake. He admitted his fault and he apologized. He should apologize to the people of Volta region, the same thing. Now, let's talk about the Cape Coast issue. You see these people, anytime, this is not the first time, this is not the second time. The president says something different, the vice says something different, the communicator says something different. They are always on different pages because the promises are too much. A lot of things they've put in that their manifesto has never come to fruition. And we can go into it. We can name them. So for him to go and sit there and be talking about, misinforming us, distorting figures is a sad moment for Ghana. A president who is not on top of issue, this is what is going to happen. A president who doesn't even understand what is going on in his government, this is the way he will continue to misinform the public. So for me, it is good, and we thank God that at least God has, putting fire on him to admit his mistake for once. And I hope moving forward, he should admit all the lies he stole to Ghanaians. He should come out and admit them and apologize to the good people of Ghana. This is the way I'll end it.
All right, Paul, thank you so much for the submission. Efa, do you want to rebut that quickly? Because I want us to look at
After this 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So about that, let's be closing quickly because I want to bring Before to in quickly for Western Volta discussion.
So can we drop? Can I drop?
Yeah,
no,
let's
don't drop. No, don't
okay,
drop. Let's wrap it up.
And then we go.
Yeah, don't. What did you say?
So if you want to rebut or if you want to do closing statement, rebut what he said, give closing statement, and then he will come give his closing statement and we go.
Yeah, quickly. You see, we can go back and forth on how many was completed and how many was all these. This is not. I mean, we can go back and forth. I don't really. We can take whatever we want to take. There's one thing that I take from what he said, right? If there has been a time that projects by previous government have been taken on, this is the time. I mean, we saw a little bit under Kufuor's administration. NDC is good at abandoning projects and picking up new ones, and that is really bad. And I like what he said about there should be a legislation for continuity. Once a project is completed, Mahama project, Mills project, Mahama project, Kufuor project, this project. At the end of the day, it is for Ghana. And it is important that we speak with that voice. You can talk about, everybody can complain about all the projects and whether it started or not started, but you cannot give a government an ultimatum. You cannot, you see, don't go there. Ultimatum. It is like the money is there and the person is intentionally not doing it. Right. Okay. Right. So all the projects that started by Kufuor that you abandoned, why didn't you complete them?
You're saying that it was what the chief said that was, or you are saying that he responded appropriately to the chief because the chief didn't use the right. Or he didn't say it right because he's just giving ultimatum.
Yes, the ultimatum is a no. I mean, okay. So let's say the chief has given ultimatum. How many chiefs are in the water, and they're going to make it a tribal issue? I don't care how you do it. No, so even this is just hold on. This is one chief. This is one chief. Let me tell you, there is not a single Ghanaian that doesn't have a one problem one way or the other. There is not a single Ghanaian. So everybody is giving right now. You are here, and your concern is the president's health. So the president give ultimatum to the country. Hey, I need to make sure that I need this and that and that. How many people do we have in the country? How many chiefs do we have in the country? Which chief don't have some form of a project in their community? Health, this and that. So if we are going to have a chaotic place, we can't even run the country. We can't run that. We must call on them. We must call on the government. I don't have a problem with that. Make your case. And you can make it in such a way that it doesn't become a banter. Why does it have to be a banter? This is right, that is right. For what? At the end of the day, yes, the e-blocks must be completed and when we use them. No two ways about that. I don't have a problem with that. But ultimatum and threats and all that kind of stuff, you don't rule a country like that. And nobody's going to take it. The response was appropriate. As you are talking to the president not to respond to people like that, tell to the chiefs, talk to your chief, not to also be making threats to nobody. So if he doesn't come within 4 months, February, then what? Put people on the street, people die, and then what? And then it's done? No. We need precious life. Don't start the do or die thing right now. Don't spill blood right now. Let us put in place, processes that are going to be, that are going to see the development and not political talks and political distant threats and security issues and all that. It doesn't help. It is under development. It doesn't bring development. What the chief is doing doesn't bring development. Muscling power and giving order and ultimatum. You are giving ultimatum to a whole president of a country. I don't think that is right. And we shouldn't encourage that. That being said, if I want to wrap up, I say this has been one of the great discussions we've had. We don't claim to know it all. If we say something that does not go right, we are ready for the corrections and then we move on. We are all here. We want to make sure our country gets the development that it needs. It's been too long and it is important that we do them. If you take me as an MPP, we've done a marvelous job. Things that we should have started long ago, we didn't. People that could not provide us with ambulances, people that could not provide us with ID cards, people that put us into health issues and all that are now talking because, we provided a platform and we provided the basis based on which, they can come on radio and say some of these things. NDC is a force, but not an alternative. MPP all the way. 2024, make sure it doesn't matter who we choose as our leader. We are capable. We've demonstrated the ability to manage the economy, and we are going to do that for the good people.
You are going to be breaking the 8. You are going to be breaking more than 8, right?
We are continuing. We are continuing.
Mr.
It is
Muzu,
beyond breaking the 8.
All right.
We are continuing.
Mr. Muzu,
Okay.
a
Thank you so much.
decorated monkey will always be a decorated monkey, no matter how you try to let the monkey look beautiful.
Paul, are you talking to yourself?
No, I'm making my closest remark. And it is obvious, and it is, admitted over here that my brother Ifa was trying to distort figures or try to distort information, which I have corrected him. I hope tomorrow, when he meets with my comrade Ofayao, he does not try to do the same thing over there. I'll be watching him. Tell him he should know that I'll be watching him on that show. That's number one. Number two, look, the NDC is the ultimate and the best party to rule Ghana at this moment. We have a government that is in power, that has shared the wealth of Ghana among his and his families and friends. And if the chief is complaining, if I is here trying to justify it, I'm disappointed that this president uses the taxpayers' money to rent private jet costing £15,000 an hour, flying in the air and taking shower, and because of his comfort, nobody is allowed, and he does not expect other people to allow to raise issues that affect them. He wants his comfort. That's why he rented £15,000 an hour jet and flying all over. The chief in the Volta region also wants the comfortability of his people. That is why he's also raising issue. So the chief has every right to raise the issue he raised. And Akufo-Addo is wrong. It is shameful. It was this arrogance and to the highest level. He should go back and apologize to the chief, because that arrogancy is part of him. We know it for him, and he has shown it once again. Now, to end the whole show, I think it's one of the great show. Also, I agree with my brother Ifa we've had. Let's hope, let's pray that we keep on, meeting and then keep on discussing about Ghana, Mother Ghana. But Mr. Muzu, one thing I've not, or we have to discuss next week, is about the, in civil statement made by Lord Kwami last week at the original Greater Accra Conference. That issue we need to put it on the table and discuss. If they think they can do what they did in 2020 to force themselves into government, they should revise their note for 2024. It's a do or die for 2024. We will not allow them to kill our people. We will not allow them to rig the election as they did in 2020. We will not allow that to happen. 2024, we are going to be very vigilant. We are going to open our eyes, and we are going to be ready to meet them boot to boot. And I am surprised that all the media houses have not taken that immature and shameful statement by Lord Kwami. They are not speaking about it. But we talk about it this week. I hope the table is ready. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Muzu. I'm done.
He seemed to be off. Oh, but yeah, we're going to discuss that next week. I will be happy to come in. It will be great. But we have not discussed the Septon create, loot, and share. Mr. Muzu, take note of that one too. You want to skip it. That create, loot, and share corrupt deal. We need to discuss that one too.
The same thing is not a case. There's nothing that's corrupt and create and share over there. So next week we will meet my brother. I'll drop off and then next week and the rest of the day.
1 point. We have saved the money. 1.2 billion dollars saved for Ghana.
That is propaganda.
Hey, Massa.
That is propaganda.
Huh? What is propaganda?
That is propaganda.
1.2 billion. Hey, you people know how to chop money, bro.
That's
many.
Okay, this segment of the show, I'm gonna bring.
Thank you. I'll drop off.
All right, thank you. So, my brother Seth, if you're there, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're ready, let's do the. So at this point, I'm going to be talking to Seth Mifetu of the Western Togoland Situation Room. So Seth, quickly introduce yourself, Seth. I know you just got off your show. Introduce yourself and let's talk about the way forward for Western Togoland. And we are talking about it after the passing of Papavi, who has been struggling for succession, labeled, arrested multiple times. Somebody asked the president when he was, Kwami Sefakai asked the president whether he should be given a state burial, for which they both laughed. So let's talk about that when we get back. We'll take a quick break. We'll get back and discuss that.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact.
All right, Mr. Seth, welcome to the program. And how are you doing today? I know you just got off your program.
I'm doing good. The kids are giving me problems. I'm doing good.
Yeah, they want to be part of the program. Bring them on. Anyway, so yeah, this is the second time you're appearing on the program, and I'm grateful for answering our call each time we needed you to stop by, and for all the support you give to the Ghana Agenda. The Ghana Agenda is growing fast, and we are heading all the way to the top, and it's all because of contributions from people like yourself. So we've lost, one of our uncles. I don't know him personally, but I'm talking about here, Papavi Hogbedeto, who's been in the trenches fighting for secession of the Western Togoland from Ghana. You run the Situation Room, where you discuss what the fundamental facts are concerning the area referred to as Western Togoland, and what type of agreements were intentioned and the way those agreements were consummated and the issues with those agreements and what the way forward should actually be. So I'm asking you, what should our way forward be now that Papavi is not there? What is the political implication of this? And what are some of the positions that you have in your camp?
Thank you so much, my brother Amuzu. I think you asked us so many questions. Just one straightforward question. There's so many branches that you ask, but I will do my best to answer your question to the best of my knowledge. First of all, I send my greetings to all your viewers and those who have made time to be on your show. Actually, the program's supposed to start 7 p.m. Ghana time, but I can see you were having some other program that have delayed our time. But I think some people who have been able to have the patience to wait to this time, I salute them. I think that they wanted to know the way forward of Western Togoland. That is why they have to wait till this time for them to just listen to me and hear the way forward. I salute them. I welcome them. I actually have a great respect for them for making up to this program. Yes, so Amuzu, thank you so much for your question. looking at, first of all, you talk about the situation room. You were asking me what are the facts. I don't know if I should start from that point before I go to the way forward. Which one should I go to? Can you hear me, Mr. Muzu? Hello, Mr. Muzu. Yeah, viewers, I think Mr. Muzu's signal is a little bit down, and we have to wait.
I can hear you clearly. Sorry, my mic. I was having mic difficulties here, but yes. So just shoot away. I know we're gonna enjoy this anyway. So whichever. I mean, talk to me about the situation room first. How things are going. And then let's go straight into the way forward. Way forward. So we go to the way forward for the situation room itself. Way forward for Volta or Western Togoland, the consummation of the agreement. What is happening in the background? How is this thing going to be resolved? What propositions are on the table? What positions are out there being held by the parties on other side, on both sides, and then going to, now that Papavi is gone, the secessionist movement. What do you think? What is in your view is the logical next step for them?
Yes. Before going to the situation room, let me address this issue that we are not championing anything concerning secession. Right. We don't believe in secessionary ideas, and we believe in a union with an independent Gold Coast. That is what our forefathers voted for. We are all Ghanaians. We believe that the people that fall within the demarcation of British Togoland voted in 1956 in favor of a union with an independent Gold Coast. So that union does not mean secession. So we don't believe in breakaway or secession. We don't believe in that. That is not the idea. That I'll put that aside, and I want my viewers to understand that we are not talking about secession. We are not talking about breakaway. We are not talking about independence. We are talking about union. Now, let me go to the situation room. Situation room is there for us to use as a platform to educate the general public, both Ghana and the people of Western Togoland, about the long overdue union that United Nations asked Great Britain to oversee. But unfortunately, Britain was not able to deliver as she's supposed to do. So we are using the situation room to educate both Ghanaians and Western Togolanders that, hey, look, it's about time. We are of age. Britain was not able to do the needful. Let us come together and do the needful. Let us go ahead and do what we should do as Ghanaians so that we can live peacefully and harmony, something that can actually bring about greater regional integration, so that there'll be mutual understanding, there'll be mutual respect, there'll be the feeling of belonging by anybody, so that everybody in the country will have the feeling of belonging, so that we can have a peaceful country, and then we'll have a spring of development that no one will be left behind. And the only thing that we can do at this point in time to save our country, Ghana, is to ensure that the Western Togoland Ghana Union is well established on a very peaceful note. So the situation room, we have been using that platform to educate the people, tell them the fact, for them to understand that this is what went on. We went into the history, we used the United Nations document to prove to the people that what we are saying, we are not just getting up from our room and come and say it, but we have information, we have document, authentic document from the United Nations, document that UN cannot deny, document that the people of Ghana cannot deny, document that the government of Ghana cannot deny, document that Britain cannot deny, document that no one can deny. We have those documents to tell the people that this is what we have, and this is what is making us believe that what we are saying is the truth and is what will happen and what will help our country move forward. So that's what situation room we have been doing for some time now. We have also been appealing to both sides, Ghana and Western Togoland, to come together to understand that, listen, we need to do this so that we can have that brotherly love and move forward. We are not taking side. Our People Liberation Council of Western Togoland, we are not taking side of anybody. We are not for Ghana. We are not for Western Togoland. We are just an intermediary between Western Togoland and Ghana. We are preaching to them that, listen, this is what needs to be done. And we are not asking you that let us do it for you. We are telling you to come to understand it so that the two of you can come together and do the right thing. The People Liberation Council is also serving as Britain. They are trying to do what Britain left undone to actually what Britain left undone so that they can complete it. I'm sorry, the kids are interrupting me, but that's fine. I get a little bit, when they run to me and asking to you, feel like asking, responding to them, but that's okay. So that is what the People Liberation Council of Western Togoland we have been doing for some time now, and we use the platform of Western Togoland Situation Room to address the issue. That's what we have been doing so far.
All right, great. I see the kids are there. Sorry, this should have happened earlier, and I'm sorry I didn't even apologize coming in, but thanks for doing that. On behalf of the show, we sincerely apologize for starting this late. But let me ask, are you getting any cooperation? Are you getting any help? I mean, is anybody coming to the table to kind of actually listen to you, so that it's not just that we are making, you are saying all these things on radio, but there's no movement? Are you seeing any movement? Are you seeing anybody interested genuinely in helping resolve what you call a union that hasn't been properly consummated?
Yeah, if you say people listening to us, yes, a lot of people have been listening to us. We are not getting help from anybody. Nobody is giving us nothing, but this is something that you have to do out of willingness. But we believe that at the right time, when we get to the acceptance stage, we will be able to get the better result that we are looking for. As of today, we are at the denial stage, that Ghana is denying the fact that the union should be established, and the people of Western Togoland, they are also in the same stage, that many of the people of Western Togoland, they feel that, well, I have worked so hard, I have got to this level, maybe in the next 5 years, in the next 2 years, I'll be promoted to the higher level where I'll be making big money. And if I should talk about union, it might ruin my chance of getting to the top. And they feel that, but not looking at the children who are coming from behind, talking about the future generation, the kind of life that they should live. People don't like what is going on today in our country, and they believe solely that the only way to solve or resolve the issue is to fix the union or to establish the union. But because of where they have reached in terms of life, they feel that, I am okay, so I don't want nothing to come in and disturb what I'm supposed to get. So that we are getting that sort of thing from the people of Western Togoland. So I feel that it also look as if the people themselves do not adequately know who they are, what they want, and what they're supposed to have. So that is another aspect that maybe they don't know. That is why they are not getting there. They are still at the denial stage, right? So we are hoping that all the education we are doing, we are getting results. People are waking up. People are getting the message. People are consuming it. People are thinking about it. Because while some people are denying, some people are accepting. They have come to the stage. Some people who, first of all, I am a host, and sometimes people send me messages, and some send me email, and some is very, very disappointing. But I keep preaching what I'm preaching, and sometimes you end up people coming to understand that what I've been saying, they realize that it is true. Today on my show, I read a letter from one of the Western Togolander from Yendi, all the way from the north. That is a lady whose identity I cannot disclose. And she stated in the letter that I should not disclose her identity, and because of the fear of her life. So she is now realizing that, now she's also waking up. She's not the only person who have written to me. I have received a call from people who even they say, hey, they
So
suffer.
your target really is to wake people up.
For the people to understand the need for the unions. Yeah, that is the way. When the people they've understood the need for the union, they can properly support it. Both Ghana and Western Togo.
So quickly tell us what it is you think someone who is from that area, what do you think they should know in order to accept that this union should actually happen? What are some of the basic?
Yeah, good. What we have been preaching all this while is that you have to understand what you should know is that one, the people of British Togoland voted in 1956 to join, form a union with an independent Gold Coast, and the union won at the time. So that is a fact, and then they need to understand that. And even the overlord Yana himself was part of the people who campaigned for the union. And when the international community came and interviewed Yana at the time, Yana was in favor of union. And Yana himself, went to the market of Yendi and educated the people about union and asked them to vote for the union, all because everybody wants a colonial rule to end in Africa. So the people of Western Togoland voted for the union, and that is a fact, and they should understand that. Now, aside that, voting does not make union. And that decision was given to the United Nations, that the people voted for the union, and UN was happy, and UN said, okay, based on their decision, UN came out with a resolution 1044 SI in December 30th, 1956. UN came with that resolution asking Britain to take such steps to bring about the union. And if you look at, so that resolution is there. So that resolution is in favor of the union, because the vote is in favor of the union and the resolution is in the line of union. UN did not ask Britain to integrate Western Togoland or British Togoland into the Gold Coast. It says take such steps to bring about the union. So steps were given to Britain to take to ensure that the union is well and duly established. That is also aside. And with that, all the documents that I have read through, there is nothing that talk about independence. It's everything bounced back to union. And in actual fact, the resolution 1044 SI of 13th December 1956 is one of the best documents that we can talk about here. And the next thing is the letter from Britain signed by Alan Noble to the United Nations, which is the whole world, telling the whole world that the day Gold Coast became an independent Ghana, that very day, which is 6 March 1957, the union between Ghana or independent Gold Coast and Western Togoland, you can also call it Togoland under British administration, that union was established that same day. That letter is also there, affirming the union between the two countries. Now, what we are asking is that if there is a letter affirming the union between these two countries, where is the union agreement? We asked Ghana government in 2008, they don't have it. We asked the United Nations, they don't have it. We asked Britain, they don't have it. If these people don't have it, who else will have the union? And where can there be a union without an agreement? No. And can there be a union without a union constitution? No. In Ghana history, where have we heard of a union constitution? If there is a union, there must be a union constitution that will give the backing to the union. And at the time that Britain is saying that the union was established in 1957, at that time, Western Togoland or Togoland under British administration do not have a government. So how do you form a government with two unequal countries? So now this is the point that we want the people to understand, that this is a fact. So now the way is that let us make sure that resolution 1044 SI of December 13th, 1957 is fully implemented. We are no more kids. I am a Ghanaian. There is somebody out there is a Western Togolander. I am not ready to, trample upon their right. This is a human right. this is their human right. I am not ready to trample about somebody's human right. So whether I am a Ghana or whatever, I don't need to support what is wrong. I need to support the right thing. That is why
people say we should let it go. Come on, I mean,
who said we should let it go? If
we've already accepted that we are Ghanaians, right?
Who have accepted? How did the people of Western Togo, how did they accept it?
Yeah, I mean, so you like the president said, right, that if there is enough agitation or if there's enough advocacy from the LGBT community, it would trigger the discussion and perhaps the consideration of the idea in Ghana or the legalization of that in Ghana. Do you think there's enough discussion even among the Western Togolanders of a desire to revisit the union?
Yes. Yes, I'm glad that you quote the president. That was when the president went to Britain that he was asked that question. That's very good. You quoted him. Yes, you see, when he talked about if there is enough agitation, actually, JJ, when he was in power, he told her that. JJ Rawlings told her the same thing. When we approached JJ when he was in power with this issue, he said, okay, if we go ahead and educate the people and they understand and there's enough agitation, nothing will stop anybody from letting the union issue happen, that the union will be established if we really want it. We need to educate the people so that we can have adequate people asking for it. So we're doing that Rawlings time. Now, President Nado is saying that the issue of LGBT, issue is a legitimate issue, is a human rights issue, and if there is enough agitation, it will happen. But at the time when he was asked, there were no enough agitation at the time, because Atames was asked, John Mahama was asked, and he too was asked. And all those times, the agitation was not there. The agitation was low on the ground. Okay, but now, even though the agitation was very low, nobody, the government did not arrest anybody for that. If the government started arresting people for the agitation would die, at birth. But they allowed them to spread their message so that people can get involved. You can have enough agitation. It's the same thing the people of Western Togoland are also doing. The agitation were not there. People were not awakened to the issue, because the issue of Togoland union with Ghana is an issue of a human right. It boils on human rights. So if this issue boils on human rights and agitation is not there, you need somebody to educate the people to get there. You remember when we have a girl child education issue in Ghana, that people were agitating that girls were not going to school. They said, oh, their office is the kitchen, and people were saying no. We should allow girls to go to school. And there was a popular song that said, send your girl child to school, if you remember those songs. And then it got to a point people were asking government to appoint women to higher positions so that it will serve as like a morale or a little bit
encouragement to have girls,
to have girls go to school. Now, you see, if the agitation were going on at that time, if those who were at the forefront of agitation are being arrested, do you think we will get to where we've gotten to today?
Right.
People who were asking for the LGBT, whatever, people who are asking that the female dog can marry a female dog, the female cat can marry a female cat. If those in front of the agitation are being arrested, do you think it will get to where it is today? No, it won't. That is the problem of Western Togoland issue with Ghana government. That today, people who are at the forefront of educating the people to realize, to come up and understand the issue of Western Togoland so that the agitation can go high, the people are being arrested.
Are they trying to arrest you as well?
Excuse me?
Are they trying to arrest you since you've also been you've been educating people?
I am lucky that I am in a country that laws are not made for dogs. Laws are strictly adhered to. That is the only way that I'm still talking. Rather than that, I would have been somewhere else today. If telephone conversation and email issue can put you to prison, but by now I am not here because the threat and other stuff that is coming, it is mind-boggling, because they call you and say things that you don't want to hear. Things
So
that
what keeps you going? What keeps you going? You are doing this, and you are getting threatened. What makes you continue to do this? Where do you find that energy and that zeal, that motivation to continue to have this education process take place, to continue to mount this stage every week, open your loud microphones and speak on the issue in a way that nobody else is doing?
it's just a patriotism, the love of my country. I love my country, Ghana. Anything that will make my country better, I don't think that I should keep quiet. If you look at Martin Luther King, he knows what he was doing at the time, but he didn't give up. For the love of his people, for the love of his country, he did what he had to do. If you look at Dr. Kwami Nkrumah, he knew he'd be arrested. He did, and then they arrested him. He knew that the British government would do anything that they want to do to him for him to be quiet. But he continued the agitation. He continued to express that there is a need for them to be independent. Even where he was giving the prime minister of the colony just to silence him, he still refused to be silenced. And then he was giving leader of government business, and no Britain-born that have occupied that two topmost position. But he, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, was given that position just because they want him to be quiet. But he also refused. At the end, he was arrested, and he was in prison at the time when he was actually advocating for the British colonial rule to end in Ghana, or at the time in the Gold Coast. You remember in 1952 when he was in prison, it was Bedema. Everybody was afraid. When Kwame Nkrumah was arrested, you see, when the head is arrested, then those under become nobody. So everybody was quiet. But it took Bedema, E.K. Bedema, who stood and campaigned for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. That's how Dr. Kwame Nkrumah won the election when he was in prison. He won the election when he was in prison, and British government was forced to release him. All praise to E.K. Bedema. I'll leave that. That is a history. Let me go to my point. So you see, the issue about British Togoland that we are talking about, if the government can stop arresting people who are in the forefront of educating the people to get the agitation, then we can have a level ground to play with. Today, the LGBT issue is in Parliament, and I'm happy that the president was with Kwame Sepakai on Peace FM, and he said that whatever the issue is in Parliament and it's being debated, but whatever will come out of it, have Ghana's name on it, would depend, will send Ghana's name to international level. He have not taken position on that issue, but he have made the fact that it is in the Parliament and it's being discussed.
Previous presidents have taken emphatic positions. So do you think him not taking a position on this itself is an issue?
Well, I'll come there. But he make a very interesting point that he said that the bill, the LGBT bill, was sponsored by a private. It's a private sponsored bill. That tells you that privately we can sponsor the bill in Parliament. Now, if the issue of British Togoland, if we stop arresting people who are at the forefront educating the people, we might have people, private person, who might sponsor this bill to the Parliament so that it can also call for debate. Now, here is the case. Why is it that the people who are talking about British Togoland, they are being arrested? Is it not a way for you to suppress them? Is it not a way for you to kill their voice so that nobody can come out to, sponsor this bill so that to go to the Parliament? It's also a way of killing the bill at home. So this issue is actually there to suppress the people of British Togoland. Aside that, this decree, Supreme Military Council Decree 20, it is also there just to target people who talk about British Togoland. And that law today, that obnoxious law, a law that a decree that we should not entertain during an era of democracy, or when we are in a democratic dispensation. That decree is being used today against certain people, and it's only against people from Western Togoland, not the entire country. That law is against 92 law, Constitution of Ghana itself. That law is against international law. It's against the Declaration of International Human Rights, which Ghana is a signatory to. But shamefully, my country, Ghana, still endorse that law and secretly use it to charge some innocent citizens of the country. So you see, this is how the whole thing. So we are preaching to the whole world. We are telling Ghana that, listen, that law is discriminatory law. It's unconstitutional. We can't be using decree while we are in a constitutional dispensation. So that law, we should forget about it. We should cancel it. We should target the issue as it is.
Right.
We should look at it. If somebody go wrong, let the law that deal with anybody, the same law should deal with the person.
Same criminal laws, yeah.
Yeah, same criminal law should deal with everybody. Why some law deal with some people and doesn't deal with some people? It's unfair, and it doesn't spell, our good name.
I mean, we do have, the judiciary, and of course the executives do have the power. The legislature, has the power to make laws for specific activities, right? So, for instance, they're making law for, homosexuality. That even if you advocate for homosexuals in Ghana, it's a criminal offense. It's a misdemeanor. So, what do you mean by they made law for different people? It's allowed. They've made law to say that, Western Togoland should not be something citizens of Ghana associate with in terms of trying to secede or have conversations around seceding or separating Ghana from the Togoland. All right. So it is allowed. What do you mean by,
Yeah, like I said, the people of British Togoland and myself, we are asking for union. We are not talking about separation. We are not talking about secession. That is out of our way. Our way is just one way, union. That's it. Yeah, what you say, it is true. The powers of Parliament is to make law. That is the primary function of Parliament. That their job is to make law. It is true. That they have the right to make law, and when they make law, because they are the representatives of the people, it is accepted that they are speaking the mind of their people. They are making the law on behalf of their people. So that law is accepted. This decree I'm talking about is not made by act of Parliament. It is a decree. Listen to the name, decree. It is a military regime, something by Achampo. Yeah, to Achampo. Decree. You understand what decree is. So,
but subsequent governments not repealing it means that those governments have approved of it. Even Parliament has approved of it. The
Parliament of Ghana have never approved of it. There is no there is no proof where Parliament of Ghana approve of it. That law itself have never seen the light of Parliament for debate, because before Parliament will approve, it needs to be debated. So that law, I'm sorry, I'm even calling it law. I'm even adding something to it. It's a decree. It's not a law. So that decree is actually not. It didn't go to Parliament. If you go to Parliament and the Parliament approve it, automatically it becomes a law. But that is a decree. So that aspect, if it is Parliament something, that it should affect everybody, but it shouldn't be anything. And if you go to Parliament, it will not see the light of the day, because it is against the 92 Constitution. Because that decree is against freedom of speech. It's against freedom of association. So how do your Constitution, the Constitution that established the Parliament itself, the Parliament was established by a Constitution, and you are talking about a decree that is against the law that established the Parliament. So Parliament will not stood that low to approve such decree or turn it to be a law or make a law in that direction, because that is a law against our own 92 Constitution. So it can't see the light of the day when you go to Parliament. It's not a matter of Western Togoland case, but just to play the ball on the level ground, on the field ground, all teams being equal. If Parliament want to be truthful to themselves, to be holistic to their chambers, they will not pass such a decree or turn it into law, because that is a discriminative law, and Constitution of Ghana does not allow discrimination. But that law discriminates. That decree discriminates. So there is no way Parliament will have allowed that decree to be turned into law, because as soon as Parliament talk about it, Parliament debated it to become a law. It is no more a decree, but it's now a law. But it's never done, so it is still a decree, and decree is being used in Ghana's court on some unfortunate citizens of Ghana. I think your microphone is off.
Yeah, so I'm saying because Parliament hasn't done anything on it, right, in itself, makes it a standing, call it law or whatever you want to call it, decree, on our books that can be used by the executives to achieve its aims, right? And the aim of it is to not have people, talk about secessionism, and unfortunately, it's even been misused to perhaps bring people who just are doing nothing but just educating the Togolanders like yourself. So let's let me ask.
Your internet is giving you a little problem.
Yeah, my internet is a little bumpy today. So let me ask that. What do you think, the way forward is for the secessionists? I don't know if I don't think you've answered that part. Should we expect that is something that is gone behind us? And then I know if I ask you, what do you project or want out of all the people who may have followed the secessionist movement? Are you telling them that they should come and listen to you? They should come and think of a union? That is where the issue is. That secessionism is a dream that wasn't going to come true.
There is no way forward for secessionists. If you are a secessionist, you don't have any way. There is no way forward for you. You just find some place and sleep. Because secession, I don't know where do you want to succeed to? Where are you going? I don't believe in secession. I am not a separatist, and I'm not separating anybody from somebody. I am not doing that. So I don't even know if there is a secession movement somewhere. I don't know. What I know is that I am talking about union. So my focus is on union. If somebody talking about secession or breakaway, then I will appeal to Ghana government to look into that person's movement and deal with that person accordingly. Because I also understand that secession is a right. It's not a crime, if you don't know. Secession, take my word for it. Secession is a right. It's not a crime. Unless you do not go by law.
But that's not what you do. That's not what you...
Yeah, if you don't go by law, then it becomes a crime. Then you'll be dealt with by law. Because if secession is a crime, Great Britain will not secede from European Union.
Correct.
You see, when Britain wanted to secede from European Union, it triggers Article 60 of their charter, and then they go through the law and they succeed. So if you want to succeed and you are using the law, you can succeed.
Okay.
That means if you want to break away, you have to use the law to break away. But if you want to break away or succeed and you are not using the law, you are using whatever you are using, then it's against the law. It's your own cup of tea. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in breakaway. I believe in the union. So I only know the way forward for union. So I don't know the way forward for anybody who wants to break away or succeed. I don't know any way forward for the person. But if you believe in the union ideology, if you believe that what Ghana needs at this point in time is a union with the people of British Togoland, then the way forward, I will tell you. The way forward is not me that having the way forward. The way forward is not new that we are setting up. The way forward has been set up a long time ago. It was set up by United Nations. That way forward is resolution 1044 SI of 13 December 1956.
What is in the resolution? Quickly, just if you could give us a quick highlight.
The fully implementation of resolution, the UN resolution 1044 SI is the way forward for people who believe in the union with independent Gold Coast, or you can say Ghana. Now, what is in the union is that, I'm sorry, what is the resolution 1044 SI? What is in it is that when the people of British Togoland voted for the union, they voted massively for the union. At least 58% voted for the union and 42% voted against the union. So the result was presented to the United Nations, and they said, okay, in the resolution 1044SI, they made it clear that now that they have known the intention of Western Togoland or the Togoland under British administration, British make sure that the union is established. By doing so, is to make sure that the people of British Togoland have their own government, they have their representative. You also Britain will also have to give her colony, Gold Coast, where I came from. A colony also should be given independence, because if you are a colony, you are not allowed to go into union with a trust territory because you are a slave. So you need to be on their own. And at the same time, when the union happened, you should see that the union happened. They should have the union agreement, and they should make sure that the union agreement is done. And when the union happened, Britain should write to the United Nations Secretary General, informing him that the union have been established. That they did. That was the letter they wrote to the United Nations, signed by Sir Alan Noble. And that they said the union have been established the very day the Gold Coast became an independent state of Ghana. So that they did. But the other step, they didn't take it. They're supposed to have a union constitution for the two union countries. The British supposed to make sure that the Western Togoland, they have a representative where the leaders of Western Togoland and the leaders of Ghana, or you can call it Gold Coast, these leaders of the two countries will meet and have a constitutional conference where they will agree on terms of the union. That has not been done. Nothing of that sort was done. You see, so all this thing is not done, and the British just wrote a letter and said that the union was established. Even Western Togoland do not have a government; they don't have a representative. You remember, even Gold Coast at the time, the people from the Gold Coast, we even have our government since 1954. You remember our first constitution was in 1954, but they don't call it constitution at the time. You see, so we were making law. We have a parliament for ourselves. And in the 1954, you could see that they call it legislative assembly at the time, which is now parliament. They were making law for the colony. So our people were well prepared. But what about those from Western Togoland? They don't have nothing of that sort. Right. The only thing they did was that after the union, they locked them into our country. So we absorbed them into our country, Ghana. So that's a fact. We Ghanaians should accept the fact that we absorb these people. We did not make a union with them. We just lied to them. We asked them to vote. After they vote for the union, we say praise God, and then we don't do nothing. We just leave everything there. And what we did was that first we brought Preventive Detective Act. That act by Dr. Kwami Nkrumah. We start some of these people away.
That would arrest you on suspicion that you have some plans to do something. Yeah.
We throw those people who were agitating for the union. We make sure that we get them out of the country. That we did that, and those that we have to change them out, we did. You remember some of the areas, some chiefs who were agitating for the union. We changed them out. When we changed them out, what we did, our own Osajifo will go and appoint any CPP member to sit on the throne. So today, as we are speaking, as I'm talking to you, some places in Western Togoland, the chiefs were appointed by Dr. Kwami Nkrumah, our own Osajifo. They were not the rightful owners of the school, all because we sacked the rightful owners out of the country. If you remember the Pando massacre, where some people refer to as a terrorist attack. It was not any terrorist attack, but today we Ghanaians were trying to modify it and give it a bad name so people will feel bad towards those people. What happened in those times was that when we were about to have our independence, some thieves and opinion leaders say, listen, we voted for union, and if you have not even establish the union, at least leave our land as it is. But you, Gold Coast and British government, you issue a white paper reducing our land into regions. You just divide them to pieces, and even you cut some of our land and add it to some places that belongs to the Gold Coast. You are doing all these things to just, make sure that our land get lost. The identity of our land is no more. We will not do that. So they said they are going to boycott the first independence celebration. That is why our Asajifo sent, together with the British government, sent soldiers to the big town like Pando, Alabano, and all those big towns. And then they crushed all these people, the chiefs, the opinion leaders who were rallying behind this idea. They crushed them. Our soldiers from my country, Ghana, Gold Coast at the time, crushed them. So when we crushed them, those who would run away. You see, those who would run away, those who will be able to kill, we kill them. That's what we call the Pando massacre. But today we are telling it like we are trying to say that they were terrorists and we want to crush them. It was not that. They were people who are fighting for their rights. And we, because we are mighty, we are mighty. We show them you remember the terms that the Ghanaians are using today. Show them the might of the state. That was the time that we showed them that. It didn't work.
All right, show them the might of the state. So we have a comment here from Helen Ajewa Dafeamekpor. Did I get the name right? Helen Ajewa Dafeamekpor. She says our culture is being is dying, and our language is fading, and our history is not in any history books of Ghana. If the union is established, we can have more chance to know about our history. But again, I mean, what's going on? Don't we have historians among us to write our history? Why is our history dying? People like you are out there on weekly basis educating. Why is our history dying? Is it because we ourselves do not even want to speak our language to our own children?
Sure. It is true. Our history, she actually put it in general. She did not specify it. But if it is the Western Togoland history that she's talking about,
I think she's talking about Ewe culture, Ewe history.
She's talking about the Ewe. That one is another issue. The Ewe issue is that I am an Ewe, but I know that the Ewe history, the historian came very late. So, but by the time that history started, if you study history a little bit, you will know that the Ashanti history, we have a lot of people who started Ashanti history, writing the history very early stage. Before Efu Kojuma Ube and others spring up, at that time, the Ashanti and other tribe history, move up. And because mostly the Volta region or the Ewe also fall within the Western Togoland, a lot of much attention was not paid to their history at the point. But at the time that the historian from the Ewe side would come up, they were far below. They were below, they didn't come early. So you realize that the Ewe history, most of them are oral history. That is how the history is fading. Right. You see also that many of the Ewe history is not being allowed in our history books. You realize that when I went to National Archives in 2001, thereabout, I went to search for the Ewe history, the migration of the Ewe from the Moche to the present day Ghana. When I went there, I was told that these Ewes are non-Ghanaians. So their history, such history you cannot find here. That is the National Archives of Ghana. And then I was told I should go to Togo. I should go to Togo and go and look for that history. If I go, I'll see it in Togo. That's what it is. So most of our history is not embedded in Ghana's history.
Right.
So it's mostly oral history. And today the oral history is fading because when the grown-ups are dying, the young ones
the kids,
they are not ready to actually, But the issue of Western Togoland history, that is a deliberate action of the government of the day, that the government of my country, Ghana, that they did not allow the Western Togoland history to come into our history book. That when we go to school, when they are teaching history, they don't even mention Western Togoland nowhere. Right. So people who are the lawyers, doctors,
don't even have no clue.
Sometimes when they approach me and I send them document, I give them document, they say, how come we don't know this? You've been to school, we have studied, we don't know this. I said, because it's not there, it's not
deliberately not
it's
been.
not. So that is a deliberate action from the government of my country, that they hide the issue of Togoland from us. They didn't put into our history book so that we can read and understand.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. I mean, you can drink some quick water. Let me take a quick break as you do that. And what we're gonna do is when we come back, we want to kind of summarize it all, and then bring today's to an end. But I've really enjoyed some of the things you say. Every time I talk to you, I learn something new. But we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
All right, welcome back to the Ghana Agenda. If you're watching us, we've been on a marathon, sort of. We've been on this since 2 p.m. We've had discussions. We're actually expecting Rockson, Nelson, Kwami, Dafeamekpor to join. He's a member of parliament for South Dayi, one of the 11... I think 18 constituencies of Volta region. He was going to join us, but due to some challenges that he has, I think conflict, he was not able to join. I had Efa and Paul DeSoso, who are my regular panelists, join in and we discuss the interview that the president gave to Kwami Safai. If you haven't already done so, please catch up. I'm going to chop all this in small pieces and re-deliver anyway. So those of you who would like to consume them in small bits where we just concentrate on the topic would have the opportunity to actually enjoy this, all the great things we talk about today. Now we are going, we've spent the last 30 minutes or so looking into Western Togoland post Papavi, who has been advocating for secessionism or separation, and he has now passed. And I have my brother here said to me, to giving me all the breakdown of what the liberation or the group he belongs to is seeking, which is completely different from secession. That's they want the union, which was intended in the United Nations Resolution 1044 X or so. He's saying, you can correct me if I quoted that wrong, that he's saying that the intended solution to the intended integration or what do you call it? Integration of Ghana and the Western Togoland by that resolution has now been consummated, and that is what should happen. And his job on the Trend Africa, which he, where he holds a a program on a weekly basis is to educate enough people to want to even consider, to think about the possibility of actually legally consummating the intended resolution that the United Nations had given to the then Gold Coast or the British administration to actually administer. So, sir, tell us in summary form everything we've discussed today. I know you said, Western Togoland secessionism is not something you even advocate for. If people who believe in that should join you and listen to you instead and fight for a common cause, which is to get the union consummated properly. And the way forward for the Situation Room, you've also described as, just an advocacy platform, education platform that authorities doesn't want really to continue because they're using the secessionist decree to, go after people who are even doing the education piece. Summarize it all for us so that my listener who just joined late can get a good understanding of what we've discussed so far and walk away feeling that they have benefited from the program.
Yeah, before I summarize that, once you mention Honorable Minister to supposed to join me before, it brings my mind back to Honorable Kwesi Kedem, who has been a member of parliament for years. He's no more a member of parliament. At the time that he was serving in parliament, he have attempted many times to raise the issue of British Togoland and Ghana Union at the floor of parliament. But in the parliament, if you want to raise some issue, there is a way to go about it, and the speaker have to approve it before. You don't just get up and say anything. Anytime
he try, admit your question and all that.
Yeah, anytime he tried, the speaker will say no. He never get the approval to bring the issue to the floor of parliament. And he also wrote a whole book on British Togoland Union with Ghana. That is a member of parliament, illustrious son of Ghana, who has served Ghana with all his life. And he also realized that the needful thing to do is to make sure that the union is established. He have done that, but he was not given the opportunity to speak on parliament on this issue, so that you can see how the issue of Western Togoland is being, pushed down, it's being suppressed by all angles. The government will not let you do it. Parliament will not let you come out with it. Citizen will not even allow you to talk about it, and a whole lot. So you could see the way the issue of British Togoland Union with Ghana, how it has suffered. It has suffered a lot. But today we are telling you that we, the generation of today, we are not going to deny the pain. If we deny the pain, we will deny the bright future for our children. That is why we are holding on to that stick, that no matter what, we will still talk about it. We will talk until the right thing is done for our dear Ghana. Now, if you want me to summarize everything, I think you have already said a lot about that, about the Situation Room. You have said that, and the way forward, the People Liberation Council have been advocating. It's an advocacy group. You talk about good governance, development and education, gender issue, environmental issue. We have been championing all these causes. We have been rallying so hard to make sure that the people of Ghana, not only Western Togoland, both Ghana and people of Western Togoland, come to understanding that there is a need to protect our environment. There is a need to keep our environment and community clean. There is a need to talk about a gender issue affecting women. Talk about it, a developmental issue. If any area of our country is lacking behind in terms of development, we talk about it. If there is no good governance, we talk about it. That is true, the good governance. We have come to realize that it is only the union that can lead us achieve that good governance issue. That is why we are rallying behind the union idea. People are calling for fixing the country. They have realized that the country is in the mess. But we are also telling them that yes, the country is in the mess because the union have not been established. You
think the union will solve all our problems, huh?
The union will solve all the problems. If the union is established, we will have. If the union is established, there is no way that things that is happening.
Maybe we could do a show where we will talk about what the union would actually have done if it was consumed, how it would have, change the course of the Western Togoland. Maybe that should be a show you and I can do. So let's coordinate the times behind the scene, and then we'll see how we can put that together. But I'll let you finish, and then we can.
So we have been doing that through the Western Togoland Situation Room, like you said. We are only be preaching about one thing: union. It's not succession or breakaway. Please, if you are somebody who have the idea of breakaway or succession or independence, I want you to show me any document, authentic document from United Nations or wherever you get your documents from that support that. I do not have any document supporting that. The only document that I have, and those that I've read, is only talking about union. That is why we are championing the cause of union. If you are not in the union term, then please join me now for us to speak to Ghana government and the people of British Togoland to accept the noble appeal of the union with Ghana and Western Togoland. That is the issue that we are talking about and what we are rallying on. And we are saying that the way forward for the people of Western Togoland and Ghana is to the fully implement resolution 1044 SI of December 13, 1956. That is the way forward. That way forward have not been established by PLC. It has not been established by me. It was established by United Nations. Way forward, we are marching towards that way forward. But the only thing we have to do, that is Amuzu said, that the president of Ghana said, if there is enough pressure, then whatever we are asking for will be done. We also know that is why we are giving you education, so that you understand, you come to understand that we need this union to be.
But you are saying also that the playing field is not fair because you can't organize.
All that we are doing, we are not telling anybody that you should go your own way, you should use force. No, we are not saying that. We are saying that get the understanding so that you can rally behind us. Let's all come together, understand this. Then we can have enough agitation, and whatever we want it to be achieved. If you sit in your house, you are doing nothing, and you think that PSC alone will bring the union, then my friend, you are lying. You are lying. PSC, how many people from PSC? Say if there is enough agitation, enough pressure, you need everybody, involvement. Everybody needs to be involved. So if you sit behind, you sit in defense, say you will not get involved, thinking that Seth will go and bring your union for you is a lie. Seth cannot go and carry the union and bring it. Thank you so much.
All right, Seth, you've heard it, my people. Seth says just sitting by and wishing for union will not make union come. So you have to go there, organize, teach, let people know what the union is about, what the union will do to them, why they currently are being ignored. Even sometimes when the budgets come out, they forget the whole region. A union will probably solve all that. That's what Seth is saying. So, Seth, where can people find your show, and what times do you come on so they can join you and continue the conversation?
My show is on a Trend Africa TV. It's on Facebook Live every 5 p.m. Ghana time. If you are in Ghana, because people are watching me from a different, part of the world. But I always use Ghana time so that they can also work with Ghana time. The Ghana time 5 p.m. You go to Facebook and you type in Trend Africa TV. We are there every Saturday. Every Saturday. It's only Saturday, once a week.
All right. Thank you so much for coming to the show again. My name is Alfred Amuzu, and for those who are watching for the first time, because I know some of your fans are watching us now, please subscribe to the Ghana Agenda, where we talk about politics, things concerning Ghana, economics, finance. Name it, we're talking about it. We are grateful to have our brother today join us, and whenever he comes, like I said, I learn something new every day, every time. I am going to bring you back, and what I want us to talk about when you come back is what exactly would the union do to the people of the Western land? What is the union going to do to them that is not being done to them right now? Or what is
everybody, for both Ghana and Western Togoland? It's not going to benefit only Western Togoland. It's going to benefit everybody.
Benefits. We'll talk about the benefits when you come. Thank you so much, my brother. Really appreciate it. All right, people, that's the show for today. Thanks for watching. If this is the first time, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to take this, like I said, and chop them into pieces so we can have those short videos coherently tackling some of the things we talked about today. And we've been on for how many hours? 2 hours, 25 minutes, the longest. Thanks for hanging in there with us. We really appreciate it. If it is Saturday, it's the Ghana Agenda, and we are going into the weeds of all the issues, political, finance, economics, that are occurring in Ghana. Again, my name is Alfred Amuzu, and it's been a pleasure hosting you today. We would be back next week. And please share the link, subscribe, so that anytime we come on, you are notified and you can join us directly. We really appreciate you for watching. Thank you. Have a good weekend.